Hello and welcome by Streamers and Stories, episode 5. Today we have the absolutely amazing Marnix, LadyTyto, and Fems. And
Yeah.
we do
Yeah.
have a fully Dutch cast today. So I'm super happy that you are all here and that we are going to talk in English today.
Yes.
Yeah, Marnix, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, of course. Well, my name is Marnix. I'm a professional speaker. I do it at Radio 538 as a radio DJ. I also host streamer sessions in Dutch. That's a talk show on Twitch. Also, amateur gamer. Very bad loser as well. And I'm easily bored. So I feels like I got a new hobby every month. So that's what Marnix is.
Ooh, and what's this month's hobby?
I was on the edge of buying a new camera because I studied video and photography before I did the music and radio thing. But then I saw the price tag of a new camera and I thought, whoa, this is way too expensive. So I just let it float for a little moment right now.
Nice. Well, let's see what the next hobby is and if you ever buy that camera.
Yeah.
LadyTyto, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. I mean, for those who don't know me, my name is LadyTyto. I'm a variety streamer on Twitch. I do stream in English. One day a week, I will be streaming in Dutch. I also dabble in cosplay. I do makeup. I do art. So a bit of everything, honestly. Most people know me from my unique pet. I have a barn owl as a pet, and you can also see him on my channel when you hang out. So yeah, I think that's me.
Awesome. And Fems, do you want to introduce yourself?
Of course. My name is Fems. I am a variety. Yes, of course. I'm a variety streamer. I've been on Twitch for 9 years. Last Monday was my anniversary, and can't believe it's been so long. But no intention to quit. I do a lot of things. I started out with actually World of Warcraft. I did that for I think 4 years, and I switched off with Overwatch. And then during COVID, I tried to do more different types of content, such as IRL. And one of my personal favorite streams is that I did app sailing. Is that the correct term?
I don't know. I don't know that one.
I don't know.
Yeah, me neither.
App sailing from a tower in
Yeah.
in Rotterdam.
App sailing is
like
perfect.
this.
That is
I
it.
like.
You're right.
So I just do a lot of things. I also like to DJ. I learned myself to DJ during COVID, and yeah, that's me. I'm 29 with 2 cats.
Nice. Thank you so much. And for the people who don't know me, hello, I am Viev. This is my channel, and Streamers and Stories has been one of my absolute dreams to talk more with streamers and about what they like, what the games they love, why they stream, learn more about their stories, but we'll get to that later on. I'm a variety streamer as well. I play a lot of World of Warcraft, but also all kinds of different games. And currently playing a lot of StarCraft and Warcraft to get through like the old campaigns. So that has been a lot of fun. Well, welcome again. Before we dive into gaming and streaming, I would love to talk a little bit about TwitchCon because we're all Dutch streamers and TwitchCon was just around the corner for us in Rotterdam. You at TwitchCon, everybody knew that you were Dutch if you knew how to pronounce the city name correctly.
Is that a
First-
hard name to pronounce?
I've heard many different ways of Rotterdam, but it wasn't Rotterdam.
Well, the English term is Rotterdam, so if they say that, I take it as correct.
Yeah, but then
how
they
else
know
would you
that you're
pronounce
not.
it?
Yeah,
Like that. Yeah.
yeah. But so first thoughts. How was your TwitchCon, Fems?
It was amazing, honestly, and I really like TwitchCon itself because there are a lot of people who I haven't met before who went to TwitchCon this year, so it was really nice to meet them. But the highlight for me were actually the after parties. There were 2 that I was involved in. One was the Amaran after party, and the other one was the after party in the après-ski, which is it's a nice club, I would say, not the typical type I would go to, but we organized the after party there, and I did 2 DJ sets during the night, which I was really nervous for, but actually went really well. So I'm quite happy about that. And honestly, the reactions of people did it for me. People said like, "Oh, I'm looking forward more to your after party instead of TwitchCon itself." um, but both were really nice, and I just love seeing people who I haven't seen in a while, or even like once. So it's always a fun event. But I have to say, being critical, I do feel like the amount of stands and like companies and fun things to do were kind of limited this year. But
Yeah.
aside from that, it was all perfect.
I felt like there was a lot to do for people who got invited to all the parties, but a little bit less for the community if they didn't manage to get to the parties. My community really, really, really liked the 2 parties you were involved with because they were both also for community. So that was really nice. Marnix, how was your TwitchCon?
It was very fun actually, and I can find myself in the argument that the after parties were much funner than TwitchCon itself. I feel like TwitchCon was indeed a bit empty for being a Twitch event. It
Mhm.
felt like just walking around, just checking out some creative persons in the artist alley. Might try to catch up on 1 or 2 shows on the main stage. And after that, just walking around. And I felt like the after parties were much more of a meeting with the community than TwitchCon itself provided to us. But further that, yeah, I really liked it. I think it was a fun event this year. Spoke with a lot of people. I think they did good to Dutch artists to let them perform more on stage compared to last year. I think that's very
Shout
good.
out Unband.
And Ben did very great, and I think I think that's very important to also set the Dutch community more in the spotlight because it is in Rotterdam, and I don't say it has to be all around Dutch community, but I think Dutch community deserves somewhat bigger spot if
Yeah.
it's held in Rotterdam. So
Well, talking
think
about
they
a bit
did
of
better.
a spotlight, like the ladies on this show were also featured on a billboard in the city, which was nice to get a little bit more spotlight as well. And agree with on stage. I do have to say I miss the Paris stage because that was outside, so you had like live music, but you were outside. There was a beer garden and it was just very, yeah, I wish they had a stage outside so you can like chill and sit a little bit more. um LadyTyto, how was your TwitchCon?
Well, being on a billboard was phenomenal. That was I immediately told my mom and she was so excited and so was I. Other than that, I completely agree with Fems and Marnix. Like the floor, the con itself felt empty. Like there was something missing, especially for a 10-year anniversary when it came to TwitchCon. Now mind you, TwitchCon EU has not been around for that long. I think outside of the COVID years, this might have been the 5th edition,
Mm-hmm.
if I'm correct, because there was Berlin, I think, as the first one. Then there was 2 years of nothing. Then it was an Amsterdam. Well, no, the 6th edition, I think.
Amsterdam,
Then
Paris,
Amsterdam.
Rotterdam. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I felt it was a little lacking. Also for connections with a lot of companies, like for instance, Elgato wasn't there. It's like one of the big ones. I did find, however, one of the partnership managers at the dance on the dance floor at one of the after parties.
Yeah.
So they were there, but not with a stand. I don't know. I kind of expected more
Well, they
from.
had the drums. They had
Was
the
that there?
Yamaha booth was
Was
together
that
with
theirs?
Elgato.
Oh, see, I didn't even
But
know that.
they can work on the visibility if you didn't see them. Yeah.
Yeah, and I agree with the it would be nice if there was something outside, but as someone who has a sun allergy, I don't mind that it's indoors, but
Oh
I
yeah,
do get it.
I
Like,
once what they had in Paris, they had an outside with tents, so
oh,
there
that's
was shade.
perfect.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, then
yeah,
I completely agree. It would be nice to have something outside as well, because it feels a little bedompt in Dutch, yeah.
yeah.
Very like muffy.
But
It's like yeah, all together at every con, people stink, that kind of stuff. Like, yeah, it'd be nice to have some fresh air.
Yeah.
So
No,
yeah,
but also just for like you all three said, the con itself wasn't that big. I
yeah,
agree. There were things to do, but not that much. And most of the panels are for starting streamers. So
yeah,
if your community, the panels are not that interesting unless you want to support your streamer that's on the stage. Because I felt the panels were pretty much for streamers that are starting. Um, and when I was in San Diego, first of all, it's 3 days there, but you also have the block party, which is just one big, huge party. You have to buy a ticket together with your TwitchCon ticket, where everybody at the party is from TwitchCon, and it's affiliates, community partners, big partners, small partners. Everyone is there. And I really missed that in the EU because we do have amazing after parties, but they are also limited in capacity. So it would be absolutely amazing to have something like they have in San Diego, where everybody is welcome to just have this one big community event. Um, but yeah, other than that, I really loved seeing everyone again, and I had
yeah.
so many quick hugs with people and good conversations with others and silly dances and yeah.
Now that you bring up San Diego, there's one thing that I would like to see more of over here in Europe. If San Diego can do a 3-day con, like
Yeah.
Friday is also included, that would be really nice for this one as well. Because 2 days is just too short.
2 days
Now,
for the con is long enough, but not for other parties around. You
Yeah.
notice now as well, like the Saturday was just like going from here to there to there to there, and Sunday again as well. Um, so yeah, a third day would be absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts about TwitchCon before we go to the next topic?
I have a little bit that I want to suggest that I'm working on that I might try to get in there for next year.
If you want to share it already, of course.
I mean, do we want to keep it a surprise? I don't know. It's not official, but me and a couple of other cosplayers are trying to get a cosplay contest on there.
That would be really cool.
Oh, that they should have
Yeah.
that.
We're
They
really because there's a cool drag show, right? And I'm like, where is the cosplay? There's so
It
many
would
streamers who
attract more
cosplay,
people as well.
right?
yeah.
Like if
Well,
they're
I'm
struggling to sell tickets, this is an amazing idea.
well
And
then
there's
if
something for the community that everybody wants to see.
it's
Yeah.
nice to get this positive feedback already. So, but yeah, I'm in contact with Sakura Floor, who also contacted me for that billboard.
Yeah.
So, and she's a really famous cosplayer in definitely the Netherlands and around. So, I want to try and get that from build that up with her and see if we can get that to be a thing next year.
I would
So, yeah.
love that. I would love that because it's always so cool to see you with the wings and everything. And you just don't see that many people with cosplays at
True.
TwitchCon, though.
I agree.
In America, there's already a little bit more of people that come in cosplay to the con. So that would be fun and a lot of more opportunity for people to enjoy.
There was one in Amsterdam, as far as I know.
Was
So
there?
yeah, there was there was one. That's one of the few things that I attended for like the talks and all that kind of stuff was the
Mm.
cosplay content or contest. And yeah, that's something I'm really missing during the Rotterdam one. So we're gonna try and get that to be a thing for next year. We already have contacts within the municipality for the Dutchies here, the gemeente, because that's a word you don't hear very often. So maybe, just maybe, we might actually get this to be a thing.
Twitch should be super happy to have this a thing. So I hope that
Yeah,
works out as
definitely.
well. Talking about awesome things at TwitchCon, Fems, you were part in Amsterdam of the like wipeout kind of. You were running
Yes.
around with CASM and others. Like where did that go?
So we basically submitted a few ideas.
Mm-hmm.
And back then there was Daan Hendriksen, which was the partner manager of the area. And he came into contact with me and said like, hey, we really like this idea. Would you like to host it? And I was actually debating whether to say yes or not because I, at the time, didn't feel like I was experienced enough to do it because I mean it's a very big stage. But I eventually said yes, and we started working on it. But it didn't have any. There was nothing planned yet. It was just like the global idea of Fem's ultimate monkey cage,
It was
which
so
is
good.
apenkooi in
Yeah.
thank you in Dutch, because I really enjoyed playing apenkooi at the primary school, and I always thought it was so funny to do that at the stage. So we submitted that,
Yeah. I
and it got
miss these
picked,
kind of
and then
shows.
yeah, definitely. I mean, last year you had Ryan doing the
Doodle thing.
picture,
Yeah, the draw the
the
doodles, right?
doodling. Yes, yes. But this year I don't think there was any
Yeah.
show.
I missed all the shows if they were, and last year they also had the cast of Baldur's Gate, of course. At least a few. I missed that one. I still am mad at that. Oh no, wait, that was Comic Con, or was it there as well? No, yeah. Anyway, I miss these kind of shows. Yeah, so maybe you
Yeah,
can
because
submit it.
it makes the community in the Netherlands more involved in like content that's being presented, or the shows that are being done at TwitchCon, because now
And there is
they,
a show
even
for the
for me as
community.
a
Yeah.
streamer, like the panels weren't all that interesting to me. And what you said, like there are not many panels or shows except from maybe the drag queen show that are actually fun to look at when you're part of the community and not a streamer. So
Yeah.
I do think they can benefit from it. I mean, a lot of people submitted a lot of amazing ideas. Um, but yeah, it was done in Paris as well, but none in Rotterdam.
Yeah, I
Actually,
missed
yeah.
that. I did go to an absolutely amazing hula hoop workshop from Luminous Nova. Definitely, if she organized it again next year, go there. It was super fun.
Oh, I know her. She's with the lighted hula hoops, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
that's really cool.
that was really, really, really cool.
You were also part of Fems. You were also part of the moderation opener, right? Where your mod
Oh
Yes,
got
yeah,
the sword.
yes,
yeah.
How was
yeah,
that?
yeah,
So
yeah.
cool.
That
How
was
did you
really
choose?
that
You
was
could
so
only ask
nice.
one person on stage.
Yeah, it's a tough choice. Because
Oh,
I didn't want to like tell my other mods like that's not what I was trying to portray
yeah,
in my choice. Like everyone is doing their best to help my channel, but I picked someone who not only does a lot of mod things, but also grew as a person because of it. And
mm,
also because I'm just proud of him, I chose him. And when I have like big productions, he always asks to help me, and it really calms my stress level because of him. So at the end, that's why I chose Soul Sami. But it was so nice because they were for the people who haven't watched the opening ceremony. It was a segment where we gave our mods a sword made from wood as a token of appreciation for Mod Appreciation Day, and it was custom made with his name on it and stuff. It was
that's
huge. It was
so
such
sweet.
a nice moment because I feel like mods are like underappreciated, especially at
Yes.
TwitchCon, um, because they do help the streamers in more ways than one. And I
Can we
do,
get some
yeah, I
hearts in chat
really
for all the
like that
mods?
Yes.
yeah, definitely. I like that they did a segment on this.
Yeah, and they also had the mod wall, so people could like write down um some thank you notes to
Yeah,
mods and stuff like that. They definitely had some nice things for mods. Look
yeah.
at all the hearts. Nice guys. That's awesome. Yeah. Now that we're still talking about it, anything else that was like super special at TwitchCon? LadyTyto, Marnix, did you experience something?
The after party.
Which one?
There was a
um
nice DJ.
well, that's for sure, that's for sure. But I really thrived on the Xbox Blurb Red Bull after party personally, because it was just a little bit more my vibe.
Oh, that one was
And
super nice.
yeah, and I haven't drank that much in a long time, but it felt so good, and I had zero hangover the next day, which is even better.
Okay.
I
You
am
need to
sad
teach
I
me
missed
that.
that though.
Yeah, but
But
you got
like
the DJ. That's pretty awesome. I'm sad I
that
missed
is also
your
true. But I wanted to experience it.
I missed the
Yeah.
after
I always say
after.
no.
and that
Yeah.
was
I
that was
had to
sad.
leave early because I had a breakfast the day after. I
Oh
was like,
yeah,
Oh yeah.
I really didn't want to leave, and then it's a good party. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I
But it
took
was just awesome.
I took
Yeah.
every party. I believe I started Friday in the afternoon. No, wait, in the
No, you
I
started
started
on Thursday because I was there with
Oh
you on
yeah,
Thursday with
Thursday. Yeah,
Fems.
Oh, that was a
I
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was
Oh
the
yeah.
first partner mixer on Thursday, indeed, in Rotterdam. So
Yeah.
it started there, and Friday we started. What's English for Schule?
Schule.
There's
I
no
don't know.
English word.
It's a
Schule.
Dutch.
No, right?
It's a Dutch
I'm in an
thing.
Yeah.
English vlog and it's still called Schule. Nobody
okay, so-
said it in the comments yet. I don't know. I
so
don't know.
on Friday we started with Schule, and then we did the partner of the batch pickup, and after the pickup we did the partner party. Was my first one because I got partner earlier this year in May, I believe. So that was very, very fun actually. I thought that was very nice to enter into. And then on Saturday, first another partner mix up, I believe. Then Amaran, then Red Bull, Blurb, and then Bee Killer, I believe.
Nice.
So I was at home around 5:30, I believe,
Same.
very early in the morning.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah,
And hangover the day after, or like LadyTyto saved from that?
no, none. But I actually got a flu after TwitchCon. So
Oh, yeah.
I
A
might,
lot of people got sick.
yeah, I might think that was the hangover. Just waited a bit longer.
Aw.
So yeah, a lot of fun parties. And also shout out to Fems. Was very fun at Amaran and the Beer Keller. Was so much fun.
Yeah,
No problem.
Fems. You're
Seeing-
amazing.
In the Beer
Yeah.
Keller, also seeing Dan Clancy partying his ass around. It was so much fun.
Yeah, he really likes to party. It's nice how involved he is with being seen and hanging out with people, unlike previous, well, or any other CEO. I don't know stories of CEOs from companies that are that much with the community and with the partners and everyone's funny.
I only know it from like the company I used to work for, which was a direct um contender of Twitch back in the day. This is like 2014-ish. And our CEO was also like that.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, so he was not that old because I mean Dan Clancy is definitely a lot older, which is also really cool to see him still party that hard and just be one of the dudes basically, you know, like
Wait,
one of the streamers.
he is 61.
I don't know how old he is
Well,
exactly.
Google just told me he's
Oh, wow.
61.
Wow.
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 I wouldn't
That's
have
impressive.
given him 61 already, though.
No,
No.
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 That's impressive. But yeah, he's a good guy. Like just that man, what he does during TwitchCon as well, like he wants to give everybody some time and he
Mm.
really puts in the effort. And even though he's the CEO, so he's a hella busy guy, you know? So yeah.
That's so
Impressive.
cool. So let's talk a little bit about gaming, because that's how we all ended up also at TwitchCon, because we are gamers. I want to go all the way back. It's not 60 years for us, but let's go back to the start. What was the very first video game you've ever played? Marnix.
That's a tricky one.
Or one of the earliest.
Yeah, I think the one I remember the most as the first one, that will be, and this is a Dutch classic, Schippers of the Chameleon. It came
Ah! Yeah.
in a jar of peanut butter. It was included in the jar. So when you opened it, you get a little disc and you could play
Oh my
it.
god.
I might-
Memory
They used to
unlocked,
do
dude.
that.
Yeah, I might, that might be one of the first things I've played besides the classic pinball on the laptop of my granddad, my grandpa. So, so yeah, I think Schippers of the Chameleon or Red Cat.
Yeah. Mm.
So yeah, that's where it all started for me.
Nice. LadyTyto, what was your first game?
I don't remember because I was this old.
Oh my god, you have
Aw.
a picture.
Yeah, my parents are gamers, so it was
Oh.
literally this is how I grew up. My parents played games, and I don't remember my very first game.
No, clearly.
my first real experiences and memories are of like the Lion King on the PC with the side scroller, and I really hardcore played Ocarina of Time with my parents, and that
Aw.
is still my favorite game because of also the nostalgic reasons. But yeah, I honestly, other than that, I do not remember. It's there. Yeah, I was really young.
Awesome. That's so cute. And thank you for showing that picture. That's
Of course.
absolutely adorable. Fems, how about you?
I can't say for certain, but I think it was Rayman Legends on the PlayStation 1.
Oh.
And I remember because there was this like the first level I could get through quite easily, but there was a second level with like music notes, scenery, and I never finished the second level. But besides that, I used to play GTA, San Andreas, and Vice City a lot with my friends, of like
Such a good game for
with
kids.
one friend, and we would actually not do the missions, but just drive around and use cheats in the game. And
That's
Typical,
that's
I
right?
the
never,
way
Yeah.
people played it,
I
right? Yeah.
finished Vice City this year because it was like reimagined or whatever, remastered, and I finished GTA Vice City this year. So it's
That's
been
so
a
cool.
long time.
Took some years.
Took
That's
some years, yeah.
nice. Yeah, I always choose a different game for my first game because there's so many and I do this talk show every time. But I think I wanted to say Rayman as well, but also the Rayman M, which was multiplayer. I really love that. But I played it once on my PlayStation 2 years later, and then I got through the first level and I figured out as a kid I've never knew there was a second level at all because it was so damn difficult. Yeah. But then the next one, what's your all-time favorite game? Fems.
Oh, I was hoping that I would be picked last, but honestly, even though I don't, no, I have a different answer actually. I was gonna say World of Warcraft, which is like the game that I've played for the longest time. I've
Mm-hmm.
been playing on private servers, so definitely top two. But I think my favorite game of all time is called Final Fantasy VII Rebirth on PlayStation 5 because I got a PlayStation in 2024, which is really late, and I haven't played much single player before because I used to spend all my time in World of Warcraft
Yeah.
and other MMORPGs. So I skipped a lot of single player games, but I picked up Final Fantasy, and I yeah, it's my favorite game of all time. It's amazing and it looks amazing. The story is amazing. There's so many side quests that I did, and yeah, I don't know. It's yeah, that's definitely my favorite game.
Oh my god, you're making me excited to try
Yeah,
it out.
you should.
So many people
Like everyone that
recommend it.
I met and asked me what my recommendation would be. Sorry, my English is really rusty.
You're
You'll
I
get
always
by.
fine.
say Final Fantasy because
We
it's
did this
you
at the
have to
same
try it.
time.
Yeah, like the
Yeah,
grammar is not grammaring. I'm sorry. It's
it's
I
fine.
have to get used to it, I
They're
guess.
used to me. I have a words comment on the sometimes I don't even know how to make a sentence and
Yeah.
all. Don't worry.
It's
Chat,
part of it.
talking about games, what is your all-time favorite game? I'm curious as well. But before we read that, Marnix, tell me, what's your favorite all-time favorite
Oh
game?
yeah, I'm really cracking my brain right now because there are so many options. I think I played GTA San Andreas the most back at when I was in Dutch call group 6, 7. We were every Tuesday. We played with friends. Let me think. How can I say this? We had a wait. Let me Google this word.
You can
My
also say
grammar.
it in Dutch. Maybe I can help.
Yeah, oppas.
Babysitter.
Babysitter.
Yeah. It was more like a caretaker every Thursday, you know. And we were there after
Oh.
school, so we played there after school from 3 till 5 or 6,
Mm-hmm.
and we always played GTA San Andreas. So I think I got the most time in my youth in GTA San Andreas. So that might be a really good contender.
Okay.
Also, I played a lot of Black Ops 1, Call of Duty shooters. So that might also be in the top 5. And
You're just gonna list endlessly
it's so
games. Yeah. You made your
difficult.
decision.
It's so difficult.
You
let's
have
let's
made
go
your
for
Has
decision.
anyone
let's
of you
GTA. Let's go
played old
GTA.
school RuneScape back in the day?
No,
No.
sorry. LadyTyto, what's your all-time favorite game?
The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. Easy answer. It's a game that I have most of my fond memories of, and I still try to play it at least once a year. Just play through it, even though it's like coming home. It's just
Oh, I
yeah,
love that. I
yeah.
love that. That's
Thanks.
nice. And well done on answering the question. A lot of people can't. Like, I don't know. I think it's Heroes of Might and Magic 3. I still play it. It's a game from the 90s, and I absolutely love that. But sometimes I think my favorite game is World of Warcraft. I just saw in chat someone said The Last of Us. If there is one game I wish I could forget to replay,
Oh
definitely The
yeah.
Last of Us. That was amazing. What else do we see? More World of Warcraft. Really good. Sick, is that a game? Or is that supposed to be an emote that I don't have? Settlers 2, Spyro, GTA, The Witcher. Has anyone played The Witcher here?
Not yet,
No.
but I have a cosplay now, and I'm gonna play through the entire series soon. in
I
cosplay.
also kind of want to cosplay to go play that. It's I love the
Should.
vibe. Yeah.
Yes.
Going from our all-time favorite game to all these games that there are, how do you choose which game you're streaming? LadyTyto.
Sometimes it's really easy when you just know that a game is gonna grasp you like no other.
Mm-hmm.
But when you struggle, I usually put up a poll and let my community pick.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Nice. You, Fems, do you have any tactic?
Yeah, on Sunday I try to switch between Just Dance and Euro Truck Simulator. And during the week, honestly, like I play new releases, or currently I'm playing old school RuneScape, things that I just enjoy. But still no single player, I have to say, and maybe one day. But honestly, I just switch between games. I have like these periods of time that I play a certain game and then switch to another and then switch back. But I usually just check the release tab on Steam if there's any interesting things, or I ask my chat a lot.
Nice.
I usually sometimes I say like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna play Call of Duty today," and then I'm streaming, and and then I just figure out like, I'm not really feeling Call of Duty today, and then people tune in for Call of Duty, and then I end up doing something else. I feel bad about that, but I'm
Yeah, but
trying to improve.
in the end, if you don't feel a game, I sometimes say I play a certain game and then I change midway as well because people are here for you entertaining as well and not only the game, it's you playing the game. And if you don't feel the game, then the content is also not 100% the Fems content people want, right?
Yeah, definitely, and I do try to play games that I am able to interact with my chat more. Things like GeoGuessr and yeah, they're not very intense, so you can just chat with my community. But I am trying to find new games to play. That's why I picked up old school RuneScape again, which is honestly really nice.
Awesome.
Also,
And
real
Marnix, how
quick,
about you? Oh,
real quick
sorry.
in between, Fems, you're not in the stream together thing yet.
Wait, oh, I haven't accepted it.
I don't think so. Not that it's, end of the world, but I
Oh,
figured I'd tell you.
Emotional damage.
yeah, you're totally right. I am now, I think.
Yes, now you are.
Ah, perfect. Sorry, I completely missed it.
It's okay.
We're here
How do-
now.
How do I
Awesome.
select the game to stream? Actually, I do not stream a lot of games on Twitch. I focus on just chatting, even if I see my summary of my streams for the past 180 days. It says
I love
like,
how you're constantly Googling everything and now you're just
yeah,
checking, what do I play? I don't know. Do
yeah,
I game?
yeah. No, I do know I talk a lot. But I don't play that much games on Twitch because sometimes I got a feeling when I want a game, because I don't have a lot of free time in the week. When I'm gaming, I don't feel like entertaining. I like to play a lot of shooters or racing games, or sometimes more competitive stuff like a Counter Strike or Rocket League or whatever. And I don't feel like streaming that because I know how I get when I'm really passionate about winning. And if I don't win, I know how I can be, and I feel like that's not someone I want to express. Or I don't want to express myself like that on Twitch. But the last thing I really enjoyed streaming was Minecraft with the creator SMP, with I believe 60 or 70 creators from Holland and Belgium. So that's how I select my games that can be played with other people.
That's nice. That's really nice. Yeah, I'm really bad at selecting the games. I can change 3 times in one stream depending on my mood, on what I want to play. And frustration as well. I like to shout at the screen at some games. I love Souls games, for example. But also StarCraft has been a bit challenging at times. So then I get frustrated, and if I then fail level 3 times, I just switch, because then I'm like, let's do this again next time when I am a happy little thief again, and then we try again.
Quick question:
yeah.
How do you feel about selecting games that are trending at the moment? For instance, now everybody's playing Mario Kart or
Dune.
yeah, Dune indeed, or there was a bit of a hype in Trackmania, for instance, in Dutch community. How do you feel about playing games that are actual at the moment?
I love playing games that are actual of the moment if I am interested in them. So, for example, I played Dune because I was curious and I really liked Dune. I instantly played Clair Obscur since day one, and I finished the whole game, and it was absolutely amazing. I played Elden Ring when it released. I've played other games as well around release. I try indie games that are new every now and then. And sometimes it's really, really nice, because with Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, I had like the first few days, I had like 300, 400 average views without raids. So it's even good for my channel. But that went down really quickly when people got their drops. um, but like, yeah, it's ups and downs. Like, if I like the game, I'd like to try it. I do have with certain games that people don't watch me because they don't want the spoilers, so I try to wait a week, but then the hype's already gone a little bit. So it's the balance. So it depends on how badly do I want to play it. Yeah. How about you, Fems?
Well, while you were talking, I was thinking about the release of Hogwarts Legacy,
Oh my god.
because I had the same dilemma there. Like, I was given early access for, I think, 12 hours or maybe even less. So I could stream the game hours before it was actually released. And
Mm-hmm.
people were like, oh, I want to see this. And I had pretty, for my standards, pretty high viewership. But a lot of people were saying, yeah, I'm going to leave now because I don't want any spoilers.
Yeah.
Aw.
So it's a big dilemma as a viewer, but also as a streamer, I think. But I do try to play new games, but I'm like, I play what I want, and if I don't like the game or I'm not feeling it, I just won't play it.
Yeah.
But I do like, for example, playing Trackmania when my colleague streamers are playing it as well within like one club, it's called, in Trackmania, and try to beat them. But honestly, like, I can't play a game more than 2 weeks. My attention span is then somewhere gone, and I'm bored, and I just switch. Except for
Mm-hmm.
World of Warcraft, which has always been there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I do switch a lot. But sometimes it's hard to figure out what to stream. Sometimes I just can't make up my mind. Like, am I going to do Euro Truck Simulator or am I going to do Just Dance today? And I feel like doing both, which is not an option, of course. And then I, at some point,
Yeah,
just
it
send a
really
poll to
is
my
it.
community,
It
like,
sounds like a
let
challenge I would like to watch. Euro Truck Simulator while you
Just
play
Dance and
Just
Euro Truck at the
Dance.
same time. I
Yeah,
mean, with lane assist and cruise control on the truck, you can do both. No problem.
I think this should be possible. Hey, I see a question in chat. I'm pretty curious. Cinean TV says, "How do you feel about backseat gaming and viewers?"
Just not
It
done.
depends on how you bring it, I guess. I mean,
Yeah.
with Mario Kart World, people are just laughing at you, which I kind of understand. If you give like constructive feedback, like, hey, fams, you're not picking up all the coins, you can go faster, instead of, fams, you're so bad, like,
Oh
there's a
yeah, but
difference in
that's
that.
that. Yeah,
Depends on
that's
how
just
someone brings it, I
mean.
guess.
Mm-hmm.
But like spoilering games, it's like no go. Some people already give the clues in the chat before asking if you want any.
Yeah, I love it when people
Uh,
ask if you want a clue. Like, hey, do you
yeah,
want help with this
exactly.
boss? And I'm like, no, I first want to die 50 times. If I then get frustrated enough, I'll ask for like, is there maybe a weakness to this boss that I haven't discovered, etc. LadyTyto, you
Yeah, and
wanted
I
to
get
say
it. Like
something
they're.
as well?
Oh, sorry.
It's no. Go ahead if you're not done yet. Go ahead.
No, I'm okay.
Well, backseating, no, I personally really dislike it unless I'm very clear when I'm like, guys, okay, I need your help now. Help me. But other than
Yeah,
that, please do not go backseat. It's just, I think it's rude.
yeah,
Like, oh, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. Go stream it yourself if that's what you want to do. I'm not your freaking puppet. Like, come
yeah.
on.
Yeah, I agree. Sometimes people want to backseat so much that I feel like maybe you should play the game yourself. Like
Yeah.
this is not gonna work out. I'm not gonna take every step that you want me to make.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, sorry. That's just my take on it. I can't stand it personally.
Hey, before we go more into streaming, because we mostly talked about gaming right now, every episode of Streamers and Stories, I ask the guests to prepare a story. For the chat, what I ask them is any story. I don't give them a time limit or a minimum. I don't give them any subject. They can tell me everything they want and choose any subject they want. This is I studied anthropology and I love the stories of humans, and I just really like to combine anthropology with all the people here on Twitch and hearing, yeah, something that the streamers felt worth sharing. So, Marnix, do you want to start today and share your story?
Yeah. First of all, I really didn't know what story to choose because I'm a professional talker, so I like to share stories.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the story that shaped Marnix the most dates from 2018 when I was studying in Leeuwarden, Friesland, on my sound design study I completed. And at the time, I was making radio at a local radio station, and suddenly, in the middle of the show, I was feeling a weird, empty, pressuring feeling on my chest. And I was like, whoa, this is weird. And I was trying not to panic, but I started panicking because when you're trying to not panic, you start panicking. And I ran back to my colleagues and was like, did you ever got a feeling when there was so much pressure on your chest and also felt so cold? And I couldn't really explain what I was feeling right now. So I told them, and they said, dude, go see a doctor, man. Go see a doctor. So I made an appointment with my doctor. Back then, it was the doctor and my parents. They were living like 2 hours away from me because I moved to the city for my study, and I forgot to transfer the doctor to the city I was studying in. So I went to see him, I believe, the next week, and I told him the same story for how I was making a show, and suddenly I was feeling some weird pressure, feeling vacuum feeling in my chest, and he was like, "Well, dude, I think." He was not saying dude, by the way, but I'm saying he said dude. He was like, I think you need to sleep more and do your drinking, smoke, blah blah. It all affects your heart. And he said more sleep, less stress. It's all fine. It's all fine. I was like, okay, dude, you've been my my home. He was my doctor since I was little, so I was like, okay, you're right, okay. And I think 1 or 2 weeks later, um, before I went to my class, I was in the shower and suddenly my heart was rushing all over the place, like really, really, really high out of nothing. Nothing spectacular happened in the shower. So I was like, whoa, what the fuck is happening? And I panicked because it went from so high in BPM to so low and suddenly weirdly stopping a bit to extremely high. And I was like, whoa, this is not good. This is not good. My first reaction was, to call my mom because my mom knows all the answers. So I
Uh-huh.
start calling her in a kind of panic attack, and I was like, "Whoa, I got a feeling that my heart is not okay." And she was like, "Well, call 882 911 for international terms." And I was like, "No, no, it's not that bad and not that important and blah blah." I was feeling it can wait, you know. So after I hung her up, I was calling like 3 or 4 doctor instances in Leeuwarden, and they all said, call 911. I was like, no, I don't feel like doing it. It felt like so pressure. Because
You're such a dude.
yeah, but no, it's not because I think I'm a dude, but it's more like calling 911
It's
sounds
very
like
intense.
a really emergency. And I was like, this is no emergency.
Mm.
I'm still breathing. I can still talk. So it felt so weird to call the ambulance for myself. And when I got rejected by the 4th doctor, he said, I was like, okay, I'm going to call 911. So I was calling 911 and I said, well, I'm Marnix. I live there and there. I got a weird feeling in my chest. I feel like my heart is not working correctly. And I said, stay on the line. We're sending an ambulance. Blah, blah, blah. So I had to walk 4 stairs down when the ambulance came. And they were like, we are here for Marnix heart. And I was like, yeah, that's me. They were like, you're the one with the heart problem? I was like, yeah. So they hooked me up the monitor in the ambulance itself. And they were like, yeah, okay, we gotta rush now to the hospital.
Yeah.
And the thing they found in the hospital like 2 hours later, I believe, was heart rhythm syndrome, if that's the correct English.
What's it in Dutch?
Yeah, hartritmestoornis.
Yeah, a heart rhythm malfunction. I
Malfunction, yeah. And they found the Wolff-Parkinson-White syndrome. And it means that your heart has an extra route to take. The electricity that depends or regulates your heartbeat, it can take another route. And it
Interesting.
and it can also disrupt it a lot, like it did with me. So first, you go into a trajectory where you're getting monitored for like a week or 2 weeks, and they've tried to figure out what's going on and what they can do about it. And I think that's the most fear I ever felt in the 2, 3, 4 weeks before the first operation. Because I had no control about my heart, and sometimes it was rushing, and sometimes it just suddenly stopped for like 4 seconds, and then it continued again.
Oh, that's scary. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
so,
super scary.
Yeah, so I came in a spiral that was all. There was a little voice in my head that said me, "You can die in a second now. You can die in a second now." So it's so, yeah. I had so much fear in that period, and I got 3 or 4 surgeries in a year time because they couldn't fix it. So the first one was very, very I would like to say emotional, but they gave me something when I was in surgery that made me so mad and feel so much pain. I was feeling like hulking up in the surgery itself. They gave me. I need to Google what's the right word, but
Such a cliffhanger.
Yeah. This is very interesting. Holy crap.
Contrast dye.
Oh, contrast dye. Yeah. To
and
see,
Wait,
to
what's
see
that in
everything.
Dutch?
Yeah, contrastvloeistof. Yeah,
Oh,
they bring
yeah.
it in so they can monitor what it's doing, because they
Yeah.
had to burn the extra circuit away from my heart. So first of all, that's very scary to hear when you're only. Well, I was 18 or 19.
Oh my
Wow.
god, that's
So
way
that's-
too young.
Yeah, that's weird to hear. And when they inserted the contrast stuff, it felt like feeling hot lava pooled in your veins, and I was like
Yeah.
screaming and stuff. That's what I think I remember, because well, you don't remember that much because you get surgical. Is it coma? No, it's
When you're under anesthetic.
anesthetics. Yeah, indeed. So and it's that really gave me some kind of reject to want to get a surgery again when it didn't work the first time, because I was like, well, I really don't want to experience that again, because that gave me some sleeping disorder every time I almost fell asleep. I came in a loophole, bringing me back to that surgery again, where when I felt that much pain and aggression and gave me so much panic. So, well, yeah, I really wanted to don't have the heart disease anymore. So after 3 or 4 more surgery, they finally removed it, and that's really what shaped me as how I am right now. Because that year, it took a year, gave me so much insight that it could be over from one day to the other, and that has always motivated me to give 200% every day, and don't stick with 50% or 80%. So yeah, that's my story about
That's
my heart disease.
beautiful, scary, but
Wow.
beautiful.
Shaped you for the
Thank you
better.
for sharing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's intense.
Thank you,
Wow.
Marnix.
Yeah, of course. It was this or a very funny drunk story.
Okay, but
That's
let's,
also
let's
fun.
we're gonna do the whole circle and then end with you as well again.
Yeah.
I look forward to the drunk story as well. But this is a very interesting story that gives a lot of insight as well in the Marnix that we know already a little bit. I definitely didn't know you had to go through all of that. But now everything is fine, or is this is just
Yeah, I'm completely fine. The only weird thing I got, this is still a mentally thing that I cannot outgrow for my feeling, is that I used to feel my heart every single beat. And sometimes that's completely gone, but there are a lot of times where I still feel my heart beating every beat, and that's so weird because nobody is that directly
Aware.
aware
No.
on monitoring their own heart. And I sometimes can still feel my own heartbeat, and I was like, no, don't focus, just continue. The same thoughts when you're suddenly breathing actively, when you're like, oh yeah, still I need to breathe.
Thanks. Now
Everybody have fun right now because everybody is actively
Yeah,
breathing
yeah.
right now. So that's a thing I still got, but I'm officially no patient anymore for my heart. So
Congratulations. That's absolutely
to hear that.
amazing news. Yeah.
yep.
Yeah, congrats.
LadyTyto, do you want to share your story with us as well?
Yeah, I'm going for a lighthearted one and one that I get asked quite often. And that is how I got to have an owl as a pet.
Mm.
So I've always liked owls. They've always been very high on my favorite animal list and all that stuff. I've always been very fond of animals in general. Um, and at some point, an old classmate that I used to go to, middle school, middelbare school, where we used to go to school together, and he became a falconer. So obviously, I was very interested. I was like, "Oh, dude, how did you get to do this as a job?" And he was very casual about it. He just studied, to work with animals and built it up himself. And during one of the worst summers of my life, because I went through a very toxic relationship back then, and I was very, very depressed, I chose to see if I could help him with things that he had to get done with the animals, right? Because he had a couple of owls, he had some birds of prey. He was also breeding feeding animals, so such as mice and rats. And they also had enclosures that need to be cleaned and all that kind of stuff. I was kind of like the intern, but not really being the intern. And he also used to go to elementary schools and birthday parties with his birds to put on shows and tell about them and, educate those kids. And at some point he was like, well, do you want to come along? Because you've seen me at work so much and you're really good with the birds. So tag along, right? And I was like, oh, that would be amazing. And this and that. And apparently I was pretty good at it. So that was good. That was always nice. And that lasted that entire summer. I think, yeah, I was still in school. About to finish my my education back then. I was studying graphical design, and right before my graduation, my parents were like, would you like to have your own owl as a graduation present? And I was, of course, yelling from the top of my lungs, yes. I mean, hello. Could get to have my own owl, that'd be amazing. So we went to a certified breeder who was pretty close to my hometown. He doesn't breed them anymore, sadly, because the man, he's not doing so well when it comes to his health. But I got to pick basically an egg and a couple of weeks later, the egg would hatch, and out of that came this delightfully ugly chick. I'm going to show you guys a picture when he was just a baby.
I love
Let's
that you
see.
already chose this owl when it was still an egg.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of special how that goes, but yeah, this is, well, he's a little older there, but here he is,
Wow.
Damn.
scrawny.
Yeah.
So a couple of weeks later, this little baby came out, and 2.5 weeks after he was hatched, basically, I got to take him home. This was already at home, but let's see. They get cuter. They get a lot cuter, a lot fluffier.
Oh.
Oh.
So yeah, I got to build him up from such a tiny thing to what he is now.
Oh, he's cute.
Okay, that's really, really, really cute.
Can I ask a question?
Of course.
Do you need to have a kind of permit to have a owl as a pet?
I have a, let's see if you can see.
An
If
old
you look,
diploma.
well, I don't need a full diploma, but if you see the ring around his leg,
Oh
you
yeah.
see that?
Yeah, I see it.
There is a number on that, and that corresponds to a certain paperwork that you need for certain species. It's called CETUS. They're like, yeah, it has all the info of where he was born, who were his parents, was he, not found from like a nest or taken from a nest. So that is basically back then, because this is 2012 that I'm talking about. I've had him for almost 13 years now. But yeah, that's basically the big thing you need. But yeah, I got to, feed him, and now he's all big and strong. And yeah, I love talking about him because he's the love of my life. I'm sorry, Boo. I know you're watching, but he is the love of my life, and he knows that.
What
Yeah.
age do owls normally how do you say it, get? Become?
They are kind of like cats. So if I'm lucky, he can live up to the ripe old age of 20. If, I've had a friend in the UK who had a barn owl who lived up to 20 years old, but in the wild, they sadly do not get any older than 3.
Oh.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
Someone in
some of you
chat.
might have seen it as well. I have his wings tattooed on my
Yeah.
arms.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
that's very cool.
So
Yeah.
sweet.
So yeah.
Someone in chat asks if there's still active breeders since the new rules. Do you know anything about that?
I know a couple, but I guess when you're in the business, you know people. I'm not breeding myself, of course. I don't want to get.
Sorry. That sounded so like a Breaking Bad scene. When you're in the scene, you know a lot of people. I
Well,
can get
yeah.
I can get stuff done.
I can get stuff if you need it. No, but honestly, it's when you're in that branch, it's like you're in the radio business. You know people in that business. I know birds. Like I know the birds and the reptile breeders and that kind of stuff. Or yeah, well, I also know a couple of exotic cat breeders. But that's about, if you're interested in those circles, you know people. It's with everything. It goes like that. But
And do you also feed him like a live mice and everything?
no, nothing alive. No, it's all long dead. No, if you give them live animals for feeding, it's good for their hunting instinct, sure, but that mouse can bite him. And when they can bite him, they can cause infections, and infections could also kill him. So this is why we choose to. Yeah, sorry, Calvin. I see the comment there. I'm not breeding myself. No, that's a little bit worded wrongly. I'm not a breeder of owls myself. I'll correct myself there because that's okay.
But what
But
things
yeah.
what things did change in the rules? Because
As far as I know, I'm not really keeping up with it that tightly, but there's something in the Netherlands called the positieflijst, meaning the positive list. And a lot of animals have been put on that list, which makes them prohibited to keep as a pet. Even the Russian dwarf hamster, I guess that's the direct translation, is on there. The chinchilla is on there. There's a lot of creatures that you're like, really? That's not allowed? I mean, I can understand it if it's this big lizard or something, but a chinchilla, that shouldn't be too hard, right? But I am of belief that there should be courses that people should have to take before they can own an animal. That goes for a simple dog or a hamster or something else, because there's so many animals that are just not getting the attention and treatment they need. Even
Yeah.
most dogs are definitely not trained the way they should, or taken care of the way they should, or even certain cats that I'm like, you should have a course and a certification done so you can prove that you have all the knowledge and you're responsible to do what you need to do. And if you don't, then you should not be able to own that animal in general.
Agreed.
So,
Sounds fair
but
enough.
yeah, sadly,
a
that's
really good
not
idea.
really an easy thing to uphold or monitor. So, yeah. it's
Isn't it like
probably-
mandatory with puppies, like dogs?
No,
I thought puppy training is mandatory.
no.
No,
You
I
can
think
do
when you
whatever.
got, I think when you got a puppy, you get a choice to bring the puppy to the puppy courses.
Mm,
Yeah,
okay.
it's sadly not even mandatory to do that. I feel like you should have more strict rules about it. And I don't mean that in like specifically for owls or anything, but even the most animals that are held right now are cats and dogs. That's, I mean, even a goldfish. People don't even know that goldfish can live up to 30. If you take good care of them, they can live up to 30. A fishbowl is pure animal torture. You shouldn't do that. It's abuse. Yeah, no joke. They can actually live up to 30. They are actually smart. They can recognize people. Goldfish, they're not dumb creatures. It's really interesting when you learn about those things. But yeah, it's just really sad, honestly. So many animals don't get everything they need. Like
So
not
when,
even, yeah.
so when did you study the goldfish?
I am, well, I
Because it
think I
sounds like you know a lot about the goldfish.
well, it's not necessarily the goldfish in particular that I know a lot of, but I like to gather a lot of knowledge when it comes to animals and share this with people. It makes me very enthusiastic. I personally think I'm on the spectrum, and that has something to do with it, like it's my special interest or something. But I really like to just be like, "Hey, did you know that?" And then blurt out this random fact that makes people go like, "Oh, really? Huh?" And it puts them to think, like it makes them think about things.
That's
I don't
really
know.
nice. And then you can maybe change people that apparently don't get themselves informed about the animals that they are getting into their house as well.
Yeah, because a lot of like bite incidences with dogs and stuff, you can usually see it from like miles away, or even with cats. People are like, "Oh, that cat, it's a rabid cat. They're very, you know, you can't trust them." And well, if you paid attention, you could have seen the signs. They were there. They were obvious, but you didn't see them. You didn't listen. They're warning you, and that's with dogs, with cats. And it's mainly because they don't get the care that they need, and I hope that that will change one day, whether it's with exotic pets or with basic ones. Yeah. But
If
yeah,
you
we were
ever go
talking about
into
Joker.
politics, I would vote for you.
Ah, thanks.
That was a
I'll
great
take it.
speech. Yeah.
Thank you. I mean, do
Uh,
you guys have more questions about the owl, or else we
no,
can
I
move
just
on?
wanted to ask, like we interrupted you with all kinds of questions. Did you
Fine.
finish the story of your owl?
um let's see. I mean, there is one thing that I'm a little sad about. uh Currently, I live in the city center, and we all know how hard it can be to get a house nowadays. So I moved in with Zach, and we live in the city center. And luckily, my parents live near the edge of town, where they have a yard, a proper yard. We have a small yard, and they are taking care of him right now because they
Mm.
have the space and the neighborhood that isn't so noisy, because for us it's really noisy here, and you cannot have an owl that screeches a lot, because it can cause a lot of ruckus for the neighbors. But yeah, I'm very, very, very grateful that my parents want to take care of him right now. But hopefully in the near future, at some point, a dream house will appear near the edge of town, or in a smaller village, or
Guys,
something like that.
I'm debating
Fems.
between my story about my self journey with ADHD or my Japan story, which is a little bit more positive. My ADHD story is also kind of positive, but I let you decide. I can decide.
I already heard about Japan. So personally, I would love to hear about your ADHD story if you want to share that. But also, if you want
Yeah.
to tell both, we are already going to Marnix again. So if you want, you can also tell a second story.
Okay. I will prepare to speak a lot of English in a very long time. So my
Just start
80
with
story
one and
about
then we'll rotate back
yeah,
to you.
I don't know why I'm so rusty. Like I used to game in English all the time. Maybe it's just I'm being nervous or anything. I don't know. Anyway,
You're doing great.
um, I recently discovered that I have ADHD. Well, officially ADD. And currently I am trying medication for it to see if things improve. Because my whole life I felt like there was something wrong with me. Like I kept forgetting things, not finishing projects, not being motivated, and I don't know. I never thought I would test myself on ADHD. I always thought like, okay, you're just like this. This is it. Just accept it and try to put on reminders in your phone to reply to people on WhatsApp, which I already thought was kind of weird, but I did it anyway. Until I started talking about it with my best friend, who I've known since I was, I think, 4, maybe. She was living across the street from my aunt and uncle, and I used to go there a lot. So that's how we met. And we always clicked really well. She's still like my best friend. Um, and we started talking about her diagnosis, and I just asked her like, okay, what do you struggle with? And like everything that she listed, from concentration to forgetting things to forgetting something in the middle while you're doing something else, uh it was like she was talking about me, and it was so weird. And I remember the feeling of relief that she was talking about it, because at the first time in my life I was like, oh shit, maybe this is something else than just me being weird or forgetful. No? Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, so I just made an appointment with a GP, huisarts. And
You paid
I
attention
think,
to chat.
yeah, yeah,
Or general practitioner. There we go.
yeah,
Or
yeah, yeah,
family
yeah.
doctor.
Because the meme in my stream was always that I was forgetting something, or forgot to put on my lights or alerts, or there was always something wrong with my stream as well. And it was getting to the point that I was getting frustrated with myself, because I knew that I could be better, and I could be a better planner and just execute things better and not forget them, and also be more sure, because I'm still, everyone who knows me knows I'm super insecure. I'm getting better, I have to say, but it's always been a big part of my life. So when I got the actual diagnosis, I cried a lot of
Hmm.
relief, because finally I had the answer to not like every problem in my life. It's not like a magical word that I can like now crawl behind and say if I forget something, yeah, that's ADHD. I'm not like that, but um, it was nice to kind of have some understanding why I'm the way I am. And currently, I am trying medication. The first one was really bad. I turned into a zombie, and I slept at 3 p.m. till midnight, and then slept some more during the night. But I'm on different one now, and I feel so much better. Like it's a weird feeling of some kind of fog being lifted in your head. Like I have less self-doubt in what I can say or what I should say. Like, can I make this joke? Or I think a lot about the things that I can and can't say, even though like the things I can say are really safe. I'm like how do you, I don't know. I doubt myself too much. What was I gonna say? Jesus
You
Christ! Why is
overthink
my
a
English
lot.
so bad? Oh my god, I'm getting
You're doing
frustrated.
fine.
Are
It
you
was a good
tired?
story. I know
Jesus,
everything.
it's not this rusty normally, but the grammar. Anyway, I want to say I am doing better. I'm not saying the medication is like magic. There's still some downsides to it. but I'm proud of myself of going on this journey because it's scary and I had to wait a very long time thanks to GGZ's waiting queues,
Oh my
wachtlijsten.
god, they're the
Yeah.
worst.
Um,
Well done on taking that step and starting this.
Yes,
yeah,
indeed.
yeah. It's even though medication won't always be there and maybe I will quit, I still can handle things better because I know this. And for that, I am proud. Yeah.
I'm really proud
I'm
of
proud
you
of
as
you.
well. That's amazing. That's
Yes.
really
Thank you.
cool, Fems.
Hell yeah, mental health. Let's go.
Yeah, I did have some conversations with people saying like, "Oh, but doesn't everyone have ADHD?" It's like the
No.
same shit with people saying, "Oh yeah, everyone is a little bit autistic."
Or depressed.
Yeah, you're not depressed. Just go outside. Things like
Just work out.
conversations like that. But for me, it's been a life changer, honestly. So I'm
I'm
really
happy that it
really
changed
happy
your
about
life
that.
and fuck the people that
Mm.
say the things you don't want to hear. Like
Yes.
let them say it. You are doing amazing, and if it helps you knowing the label and getting the medicine, then that's all that matters.
Yeah, at some point, if I have to be honest, I did get feedback from some of my viewers saying, like, I noticed that you think too much about what you want to say. And then because of that, you're not entirely yourself.
Mm,
And at first, I didn't agree with it because I didn't really understand what they were coming from. But lately, like the last 2 weeks, I've been feeling more myself on stream,
mm.
which has been really nice. And I do think people notice it. But yeah, I'm 29, but still on the self improvement journey. So
Oh,
it's
we're
never
never
too
done.
late to start.
Nice. Thank you
Yeah.
for sharing your story, Fems. That's very
Yeah.
inspiring. And for everybody who's like doubting, should I reach out and go on that endless waiting list? Maybe it's gonna inspire them to do that.
Honestly, it's never a bad idea to talk to someone and to see if there's something that you may or may not have ADHD. But just do it. I have so much regret that I didn't do this earlier because I have struggled with having concentration and focus and motivation my whole life, knowing that I can do better, but don't understand why I can't reach that. Um, but now I feel more at ease with myself and I've accepted that part of myself. So, yeah.
Thank
Good.
you,
Very happy
Fems.
to hear
Thank you
it.
for sharing. Cool. Before we go to Marnix, his drunk story, I got the feedback that I never tell a story and only let the other people tell a story. So today it's episode 5, but it will be the first story that I am sharing. And I'm gonna keep it short. I intend to keep it short. But I want to go back to the time I went to do my master. I did a master degree in anthropology, and that's also why I started Streamers and Stories, because anthropology is the study of people and culture. And now that I am a full time streamer, I love to also share the stories of streamers. So that's why I started with this. Um, and for my master in anthropology, back in the day, I was really insecure. I love that I can now say like back in the day because it's really, really changing. And one of the moments that for me, uh, things started to change for the better was also around that time. Right after my college degree, I went on a travel alone through Europe, an interrail. That's a story for another time. Interrail trip for a month, and when I got back, I did my master, and I thought, okay, I can travel a bit alone, but I'm still me. Uh, and then I moved for my studies 3 months to San Francisco, all the way across the ocean, uh, to, for me, a pretty far away place with different time zones, with my family not being on call, with my friends being often asleep when I was doing my day. And that was for me a very inspiring time to learn that I can do basically everything. Well, definitely not everything, but like a lot. I moved into a startup house, which is really fun. It's a normal family house, but then with as many rooms as possible in a teeny tiny space with 2 bathrooms and 1 kitchen and everything. All the appliances are most of the times broken, and you pay 1,500 euros a month. Absolutely amazing. I got the best roommates I could possibly wish for that explored with me San Francisco. I instantly had a few of my research participants that were there for the startup dream to make their companies real. And after 3 months, I really didn't want to go back. And also, I was really looking forward to go back. I even managed with the Razer store in San Francisco to allow them to let me stream every Friday morning. So I was still game streaming there as well. I went to all kinds of cool events to do my research. And that was a moment that I really started to believe that, yeah, I think I can do things. So I thought that would be an interesting story for the first episode that I tell a story. I don't have 2 stories. However, Marnix did have a drunk story that he wanted to share. So I look forward to that.
Well, there are a lot of drunk stories from Marnix. But after I shared my heart surgery story, it's an extension on that story. So if you just dropped in, I mentioned before I had a heart surgery, and that also gave me the big motivation to get literally anything out of life. So always giving the 200%. And after the last surgery was done correctly, I had the urge to celebrate life with friends. So we had a party with the closest friends, and not because I was done with the surgery, because there was just a party, and I was like, yeah, let's fucking party. And things got a bit out of hand because, well, when you want to celebrate life, you start celebrating life with a lot of alcohol. So I started with beer, ended up with vodka Red Bull, and that's a killer. That's a really killer for a party. So at the party, I fell asleep multiple times. Friends know me for that also. That I fell asleep in chairs, on couches, or once fell asleep on the toilet for no reason, and they found me sitting there with my pants on. I really don't know why. I was sitting on a closed toilet, so no, not safe for work things. And my friend said, "Well, Marnix, it's really time to go. Please go home. You need to find your bed." And I was like, okay, something like that. I really don't know if I had if I could speak at the moment. So I walked to my bike, my bicycle, and there were like 30, 40 bicycles on the entrance of the party. And yeah, well, I was very, very drunk, and I really didn't know what bike was mine. And then the most awkward thing ever happened where friends keep telling me about is that I got my wallet from my pants. I pulled out the public transport card and I tried to open my bicycle with the card, and they were like, beep, no, not working, beep, no, not working, because, well, yeah, you need a key to open your bicycle, not a card. So after like 30, 40 minutes, that they also filmed, by the way, I still
30,
like
40
to,
minutes of beeping your bicycle?
yeah, they were getting the most out of the situation. They also filmed a lot of it, so I can still rewatch that. And eventually, I got on my bike, and 2 of my friends brought me home, and they stopped at home because I didn't make home, because my parents told me that I woke up at the shed in the backyard, because I couldn't reach the door. So they found me in the backyard, and they dragged me upstairs, and I woke up the next day, and I was like, wait, why am I in bed with my clothes? Where's my phone, my wallet? Where am I? And then my parents told me everything. So that's my one of my most funny drunk stories.
That is a good one.
That's a really good story. And now that you mentioned that there is lots of footage, I hope one day we will get to see a little highlight of that beautiful
Oh my god.
footage.
Yes.
Yeah, I can After the show, I can post a little snippet.
Yes, please. Thank
Yeah.
you. Awesome.
Yeah, I will do that.
Fems, did you also want to talk about Tokyo, or are you okay with
Well, yeah, I'll tell it quickly. I since I was young, actually, since I was I think 10 or 11 years, I have been fan of Japan in general for quite a long time. I think till now, actually. And it started with Japanese music and series, and it kind of moved on to K-pop, Korea, things like that. I used to do cosplay back in the day as well, which I have pictures of, but will never show because I'm afraid I'm ashamed a little bit. um, and I used to get bullied because I loved Japan back in the day. At school, they used to call me names because of it. It was kind of tough. Anyway, uh, I was still a fan of Japan when I grew up, but I never visited it because it was too far away. It was too expensive, and my last partner didn't have the intention of going, so I kind of gave up on going because I didn't know who to bring, and it was too expensive. And then I got a call in January from Ubisoft asking me to join them in to with their PR trip to Japan, to Tokyo, for Assassin's Creed Shadows.
That's insane.
And I remember telling him, like, are you sure about this? Because I'm not like this. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not this huge Assassin's Creed fan, so I can make amazing content for you. But what are you sure? But yeah, they were, and I said yes. But at the same time, my cat was going through a very rough time. He still is, unfortunately, but we discovered that he was very sick, and we still had the intention of going, and he was doing quite all right. But I remember sitting at customs, like waiting to. I had my passport in my hand, like waiting to scan it, and then I got a call from my mother-in-law saying that his condition has worsened. So it was like this movie moment where I had to pick between going home and checking up on my cat, or going on my dream journey that I've been waiting for 25, well, at least 20 years. Um, and then I didn't know what to do. I was crying, and we talked a lot, but we kind of made the decision like we cannot change the situation, and this is too much of an opportunity to pass. So we went, and I remember landing in Japan, like crying, one of emotion because I was really happy to be in Japan because I've waited a very long time.
No cursing, no
I
cursing.
don't have the curse pass yet, so I will be very civil. But at the same time, being really sad because my cat was sick, and
Yeah.
but I was really happy. It was a life-changing trip for me, and we were sitting at our hotel. It was 2 a.m. in the morning, and I got a call from my mother-in-law that he was doing fine and doing much better, and we could relax. So from that moment on, we went around the block. We were in Kyoto at that moment, and we walked around at 3 in the morning, just feeling a sense of relief. Um, but it was such a surreal experience because I've watched thousands of videos on YouTube about Japan, about the culture, about the food, like, you know, these 4K walking videos of people just walking around in Tokyo. I used to watch that while I was working because it was relaxing to me. Um,
Mm.
but to actually be there, I think I cried, I think 5 times.
Aw.
um, but I'm still so thankful to Ubisoft. But it honestly, I can say that it changed my life, even though it was just a week. The impact that it had on me, we're currently saving up to go back, hopefully, maybe this year. But it was, yeah, it was nice.
That's
Aw.
absolutely amazing. I remember you telling it on the stream and you were like crying and you were so happy and you barely could believe it. That was beautiful.
Yeah, it was. I couldn't believe it at first as well. But the moment that I revealed it was perfect. It was during my 12-hour stream, and yeah. And now I want to go back talking about it.
Nice. I hope
But
you
it was
will go
cool.
back one day.
Yeah,
I
Soon.
really hope you will go back. Ooh,
that was my
well,
story.
one of my next questions is what has been the most impactful thing during your streams? One of your most impactful moments during streams. Fems, this might be one of yours, or is there something else that comes to mind?
Um, I think. Well, the IRL streams in Japan and Korea are my favorite streams of all time.
Mm-hmm.
I remember doing the IRL stream in Korea. If you IRL stream, you know how stressful this is. Like, is it working? Does the internet work? How is the
Yeah.
delay? And like, just being there doing that stream, it was amazing feeling. But the most impactful moment, I would say, the first season of the Mental Health Hour podcast that I
Yeah.
did with Bukske. Um, the response that I got from it was impactful for me because I mean talking about mental health is really important, and the way the podcast was set up, like talking with our friends, it was yeah, it was good. It was really nice that we were giving the opportunity to host a podcast like that. Um, but the response that we got from viewers saying that they felt understood and they felt heard, and they were like helping, they were not talking to us during the podcast, they were reacting on each other's stories,
That's
they were helping
beautiful.
each other, giving each other advice. And that moment, the moment I realized that, that was like the most impactful moment of my career, I think. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, you've done some really sick things. That's absolutely amazing. I really love that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well done, Fems. You're doing so awesome. I'm always
Thank you.
proud when
So are
I see
you.
all
So
the
is
things
everyone
that you
here.
do.
But
That's so cool.
yeah,
Marnie,
honestly, I'm very sorry. I don't
no,
want to
yeah,
interrupt.
honestly, tell me.
um, I never expected to be streaming for this long and to do all these amazing things. Um, so yeah, I agree. I've done some really cool shit, and I'm really proud of that. And I still hope that I can do more of it.
That's awesome. I really think that's really, really cool. You're really cool,
Thank you.
Fems.
No, so are
Yes,
you.
you are. You both are.
Marnix,
Oh,
what was for you a very memorable moment on stream?
Well, I think the stream that made the most impact on me was actually recently. There was an extension of the passing of Roland Kipsoepje. The Sunday the news came out of his passing. Everyone was emotional, broken. And that evening I had to work, and I was not sure if I wanted to work or call in sick. And I thought, well, there are a lot of emotions to deal with. Maybe working gives me extra headspace to focus on something else instead of the grief. Um, and don't ask me why, but I also had the urge to also stream on Twitch while working, what I do a lot. When I work in the night shift at Radio 538, I also take my RL kit with me to give an insight of what it's like to make a radio show, what it's like to prepare it and kind of stuff. And I was like, well, if I need some talking to others that, I don't know why, but if I felt like, well, might be this might be the moment to also take people with me, because this is also who Marnix is. Life is not always bright. Sometimes it's very dark. And I felt like, well, maybe this is the moment to just get myself doing this, because it felt like, do I want to do this? I asked him a lot of times, and I was like, yeah, well, let's just do it. Just show your true self. And on the stream, I got so much love and warmth from the Dutch community as well. And that's the first time I think I really saw what it's like to got so much support from a community. So I think that's the stream and the moment that impacted me the most on Twitch. It really gave me the insight of a great community. So it was also very nice to see at TwitchCon when we started this talk show. We talked also about TwitchCon when there was a little picture of him and a way to write some cards to him that a lot of people did there. So yeah, I think that's the most impact stream for me.
I can
And also
imagine that.
I did the streamer session that I did with Daniel Lippens.
Yeah,
Also
that was
worth mentioning.
beautiful.
I decided because, well, I started streamer sessions with Kip, and I was like, well, I need a way to process this, and that resulted for me in watching a lot of streams we did together. And I was like, well, it might be a very nice way to say goodbye in a streaming way, to put highlights and just show them and talk with Danny about it. So yeah.
It was beautiful and well done. I watched it
Thank you.
back. It was
Yeah,
very
I agree.
emotional, but it was
You
absolutely
deserve
beautiful.
so many credits for that stream. It was done beautifully, and it was the perfect way that we could remember Kippensoepje.
Yeah. It
Yeah,
was
it made
beautiful
an
to
impact
also
on a
have that
lot of
here
people.
for everyone and for the community, that there was a space to take a moment to say goodbye together. I also remember at his funeral that they had these clip compilations and they were so emotional, even though they were super funny clips. But it's, yeah, crazy to see the content
Mm.
in that way. That was, I can imagine, memorable. And what I wanted to say, Marnix, is also the fact that you went live that Sunday also meant that not some people that otherwise would have been alone with their emotions had you.
Yeah.
So I think they weren't only there for you, but you were there also for some people.
Yeah, I think too. Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, thanks for the nice words. I really don't know what to say right now. So
Yeah.
Hmm.
Let's move on to LadyTyto. Did you have a memorable moment on Twitch?
I have way too many, and if I have to pick one, I'm gonna pick a more recent one, and it's not necessarily on my own channel, but another channel that I would really love to bring to light, and that is Game Changers Nederland. They do a charity every year, and last year it was for Villa Joep in the Netherlands, and they are doing research to cure neuroblastoma, which is a form of cancer in the brain and the nerves. It's yeah, it's intense. And we did a charity in February where we raised money and we ate a lot of nasty things, all for the kids.
What
And
kind
we
of
got to
things?
there were the one chip challenges. There was some really hot sauce. There was things that other people really like, so such as pickles or ginger, stuff like that. So it's a bunch of things, honestly. And I think it's not entirely according to TOS of Twitch, but at the same time, nobody got hurt. Everybody's fine. So it's all just with fun and games and a tongue in cheek kind of thing. So please, Twitch, do not put anything in place for that, because they're awesome and we're doing really good things. Last year we got to raise over 20,000 euros, and
Wow.
that was definitely one of my moments where I'm
Jesus.
like, I was part
Very
of the
well.
team and we did this, and it's quite a small team as well, so that is an insane amount of money.
Yeah.
That's
So yeah.
absolutely incredible.
Wow, amazing.
That's so cool.
We're doing it again this year, but this year it's for Dream for Kids. So yeah, definitely a little shout out to Game Changers Nederland. Definitely go follow them, go watch them. We're already raising and we're already up to 1.5K. But the real marathon is going to be next year, February. Let's see, when is it exactly? Friday the 6th until the Sunday the 8th of February 2026. There's some really cool prizes that you can win by donating as well. And I really want them to have all the eyes on them because, yeah, just support it. It's all going to a good cause. And, yeah.
That's amazing. Awesome. Game changers. Let's follow them. And then chat, what was a very memorable moment in one of our streams? Is there anything that made an impact on you? I already saw the level 26 hype train. That was for me indeed very memorable, but not the most memorable moment from this year. I think for me it was definitely when I went through a rough patch with also a cat who was sick. Fems, you know the feeling. My cat needed surgery, and there was a 3-week window where he was either going dead, going to die, or going to survive. And during that time, I didn't feel so great, and I cried every now and then. I canceled some streams because of that, and every single time I felt like shit, I would just, type in the Discord to say like, oh, I really don't know if it's going to be all right, and I'm sad. And there would at all times appear a little hug emote under that message every single time, and sometimes a response. But even in the midnight, there would be a hug comment, someone who would give a hug at me feeling like shit, and I wouldn't feel alone. And it wasn't technically a stream, but it was the 3-week period, and it was because of the stream. So for me, that was really, really, really special to know that I'm never alone, and that is this community that well, I built sounds so stupid because, like, I don't know, I'm
You brought
lucky they
together.
found me. But yeah, it's just beautiful that in times of need, this was a time of need for me. Like, if I would wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning and felt alone, and my cat was like being, I don't know, looking like he might die again, I would write that, and people would hug, and that was very memorable. The level 26 hype train was also a moment I won't forget, to be honest. So you guys typed it in chat, like,
Yeah.
fully agree. I actually cried when it ended, because all the time I was like thinking, what if there's going to be more? And I was a little bit in shock. Also because that started after there was already some hype in chat. And I guess that was the after party of TwitchCon right here on Twitch. And after the hype train, I went offline because I was in shock. So I felt really bad about that, because it's the worst thing to do with so much content.
I'm sure everyone understood.
Yeah, they completely understood. But like, yeah, maybe I make sure now that I never get that much financial support in a day. Well, okay, that's what it is. I was a bit in shock, and I watched a Disney movie. It was very calming. Uh,
What movie?
Moana. I know that
Oh,
I
movie
love
by
that
heart.
movie.
Yeah.
So nice.
Mm.
But
So
isn't it
yeah.
amazing how your community can have your back no matter what?
Oh yeah.
It's hard to explain that to people who don't know and watch Twitch.
It's insane. It's insane. I had some great news this week that I shared with my community. I am, well, not getting married, but like I'm gonna do a registered partnership with my boyfriend, and
congratulations.
my
Congrats.
mom kind of bought me a wedding dress, so now it's going to be a little bit more than a small thing. And then one of my
Yes.
community
Oh,
members is organizing
congrats.
a barbecue, so I'm actually gonna celebrate it with them as well the
that's
week
perfect.
after.
Aw.
And one of my community members also said like, "Oh my god, I'm so touched." And then he messaged me like, "Oh my god, now your partner is going to be my brother-in-law." And I was like, "Brother-in-law?" And he's like, "Well, I talk more to you than to my sister, so technically you're also sort of a sister now." And I
Aw.
thought
I'm
like,
so happy to hear that.
yeah. And
And your
it's like,
boyfriend is very nice, so I approve.
yeah, I know, yeah. But it's
Aw.
the community, not specific members, but the community as a whole are one of my best friends. And that is something you just can't explain to other people. Yeah, and at TwitchCon, the community made my partner change his Twitch name in Mr. Viev. So I hope he will change it back before next TwitchCon. Otherwise, he will walk around with Mr. Viev on his badge. Yeah.
I like the username,
That's
honestly.
Cute
that's very
though.
funny.
I wouldn't
Zach,
change
pay
it.
attention. You're Mr. Tyto now.
Yeah.
Change your name.
I mean, you're LadyTyto and Mr. Tyto. That sounds pretty cool. Yeah.
That's
But sorry, Fems, I interrupted you
Yeah.
when you said they mean so much to us and it's hard to explain.
Well, no, I can just say like I know exactly how you feel. I was sick from September to beginning of September to the mid of November. And that was a period where I wouldn't stream at
Oh,
all.
yeah.
Like I was too tired and too sick to do anything. And I kind of accepted that when I came back my channel wouldn't be as big, or like few people would have left and found someone else. And but like the opposite was true. Like the moment I came online, everyone was still there, and I was so touched by it. Like
Oh, they
it's
missed
so
you.
yeah, but it's so surreal to have 2.5 months being passed, yet everyone was still there. And yeah, I thought that was really really nice and really thoughtful. And it made coming back streaming a little less scary.
Mm. I love that.
And then they were really patient as well, because I had like 2 hour caps that I would do streams, and normally I would stream a little bit longer than that. But they actually said like, yeah, you have to feel better. That's a priority. Do not feel bad if you cancel streams or anything like that. And yeah, what I said, I was touched by it.
I love that.
Yeah, it's we're very grateful for you guys, in case you didn't notice yet.
Yeah, the
Everybody in chat.
Except for the
community.
people who laugh at me when I play Mario Kart, you will still get banned.
Yes. Yes.
Oh
Screw those
my
guys.
god.
Watch out, there won't be any any viewers left.
Aw.
Jesus.
That'd be a lot of people to ban. Holy cow.
Ooh.
You said with the racing games that you play, Marnix, that you get this type of anger that you do not want to show on stream. I have the same thing but with Mario Kart. I get
Yeah.
so frustrated and so angry. I don't have that with any other games. Even Call of Duty or Counter-Strike don't get me as mad
Yeah, but
as Mario Kart.
Fems,
I
Mario
get
Kart
that.
is made to make you feel bad, because if you're all the way at the back, they give you the super power ups, which means that if you're all the way on the front and you're actually the best racer, you get way more bombs at you. So you have to deal with way more shit.
But I have been
It's-
first place so many times, and then 2 minutes straight first place, and then the last, I'm not swearing, the last part of the
Yeah.
track,
Yeah.
there's a blue shell, and then I end up being 10th,
Yep. It'd
and
be
it
like
just
that.
fucks
Oh,
me up
guys,
so
don't
much.
forget to follow our lovely Fems for all the frustrated Mario Kart
No,
content.
I'm not playing it anymore. I'm back to old school
Why not?
RuneScape. I
Whoa.
cannot be mad at that.
No.
No, I'm
I
gonna
mean, but
play it.
do
I'm
you
gonna
all
play
have
it.
a
I'm gonna
Switch
play
too? Because I
But,
saw the price of that thing and I just thought I can't afford that right now. Did you all buy the Switch too? Okay, that's
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
you.
Yeah, I
all
did,
of
I'm
you
sorry.
did. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. I really felt like fear of
Emote.
missing out, and I really like to play Mario Kart. So I was like, well, yeah, I can
do have
pre-order
the
it right now.
FOMO, but I also have 500 euros more in my bank account.
Yeah, fair enough. I felt like with the Switch, it is the only console I can game on with my girlfriend. It feels like the most accessible console to own to play with my girlfriend, because the PlayStation, we don't have that much of party games to play together.
Mm.
Yeah.
on
Okay. Then Mario
PC.
Kart. I have the normal Switch to play Mario Kart,
Yeah.
Tricky Towers, and all the party games.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
also own
honestly, I'm
the
really
Switch
impressed
One.
with it.
Yeah.
I'm happy that I bought it. It's a really big upgrade from the Switch one. But I do
Oh, definitely.
understand if you don't play a lot of Nintendo games that you might not feel the urge to buy it on release. I usually never buy consoles on release, but I did
Yeah.
pre-order this one. But
Well,
like
I'm pretty
the
happy for all of
package
you,
had
and maybe I will come to you to play Mario Kart one day, even though you don't
yes.
want to play it anymore. But then we should,
Of course, hit me up.
because I heard
Always.
it's so much better
Same.
than the previous
Yeah,
Mario
it
Kart.
is.
Oh, it
Yeah.
It
is.
is. It is.
Hey,
Yeah,
but going back to the bad comments in your stream, the next question is, how do you manage negative comments and trolls in your chat? Anyone who wants to start?
Still trying to find the right way. Because I'm only streaming on Twitch for like a year right now.
Mm-hmm.
And when I stream, it's a mixed content with talk show combined with games or that kind of stuff. So a lot of people don't know me. So I got a lot of first time chatters in my chat, and first time chatters mostly got a meaning. So they or no, not a meaning.
An opinion.
An opinion. Yeah, thank you. So sometimes not everybody can like you. That's rule one on the internet. You know, there are a lot of people they don't like you. So I feel like bad comments are still reaching me and making me think and making me try to figure out, do I need to respond to this or just ignore it? And also making me doubt if I'm doing stuff good enough, because some comments are right pointed to your production value or content value, so that sometimes make me doubt about my own content. So still don't know the right way to handle the negativity on Twitch.
LadyTyto, do you have any ways that work for you?
There are two ways that I try to deal with it. One is not giving them any attention, and that is just not even acknowledge them. So just banning them altogether, because one of my rules is if you cannot say anything nice, don't say anything at all.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good rule to live by. Even I slip up sometimes, but hey, I do my best. But yeah, in general, it's just like either do that or be like, oh, do you always talk to people like that? Is that always the first thing you say to people? Because you must be fun at parties then, or something like that. And then usually they leave because it's not going to turn into the reaction that they want, or you're not affected by their comment as much as they would hope, or yeah, that's basically it. I mean, Fem said that she was on Twitch for 9 years. I can top that. I've been on Twitch since 2012.
Oh
I have a
wow.
grandma emote, not this account. I have switched accounts because yeah, I started streaming when it came, well, back in the day there was this marathon, Zelda Marathon NL, Zelda Marathon NL. And they used to raise money for the Dutch Heart Incorporation Stichting, I don't know. And when they stopped their streams, the community would always be like, we're still missing it. We want to keep playing, we want to keep watching streams. And eventually the community started streaming themselves, me being one of the community. And nowadays nobody from that community still streams except me. Well, I guess some do stream, but very occasionally. For me, it's definitely still been a red line in my life. And back then I switched careers. I worked for a contestant of Twitch, and when they laid me off, I switched back to Twitch. So there was a username switch, because I used to be called Oxy or Oxy Official, and they didn't want to free up the 3-letter usernames. Apparently that's not a thing, even though I had good reasons to try and claim it. But that's when I changed my name to Oxy Official, and that's why this account has not been on Twitch for that long. But yeah, I have a Tyto granny emote because of that. But
I
back in
do
the
remember the
day,
name Oxy Official. It does it says something, but I
yeah,
think I've seen you like back in the day, but
I think I
not
was a
realizing.
Daniel or something back in the
Yeah.
day with the previous name. I changed it in 2022, I think. So 3 years now.
Yeah.
And yeah, because
Yeah.
I have a granny emote because
Oh,
I'm
that
a granny
is
on Twitch.
such a cute emote. Wow.
But you learn to live with snarky comments or negative crap, to not use worse words, and it's just like you just have to grow a thick skin
Yes
for
and
that
no.
stuff.
I mean, it's not 12 years or 9 years, but I've been 7.5 years on Twitch now,
Also
and
long.
I do have to say, like, sometimes people really say things that get to me still.
Yeah.
And
Same.
I know they're just first time chatters, but probably, I don't know, a fucked up life. But they take the time out of their day to say something negative, and that in itself already impacts me. But also
Yeah.
sometimes they say the specific things that I am super insecure about, and
Uh-huh.
then I just, I time them out because I often, want them removed for the time being. But I still feel it gets to me a little bit
Mhm.
when they say the specific things that I just can't deal with
Yeah.
uh, very well. At the same time, I've been bullied my whole childhood. I absolutely hated myself. And now I am starting to be able to say that I'm okay as a person. And that's also because of Twitch, because I found this whole bunch of people that like me for exactly who I am. And all the things I used to apologize for are the things that these people come to watch on a daily basis. There's like people that have watch hours that are like over the limit. I mean, I stream a little bit much every now and then, but so yeah, I try to every time I have a comment make me insecure, think about, okay, that's this one person we don't even know, and look at all these people that spend hour after hour here exactly because I am who I am. So yeah,
That's
that's
a good one.
something I try to tell myself. Not always easy, but yeah, they
Definitely.
tell me as well that I'm pretty cool. Or well, they say Viv is weird and we're okay with it, but they mean I'm pretty cool.
That's what that means,
But
right?
you can be
Translated.
really, really proud of yourself, Eve. And I
Yes.
hope you know that.
Dus volgende vraag. No.
Oh.
Can you guys share any behind the scenes secrets about your streaming career setup or rituals? What do you do before, after the stream, or anything?
I sometimes put on perfume because I feel prettier with perfume.
Yep, I get that.
I love that. That's cute.
Yeah, it's random, but yeah, I do that. What else?
Or Marnix,
Marnix?
LadyTyto, anything?
Well, actually, I do the same. Yeah, before I
Oh.
start streaming, I walk into the bathroom and I just pick one of the fragrances, whatever
Mhm.
I own. Just try one, walk in with the idea if I smell nice, I feel like let's do it.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
That's
Very
so
good.
cool. Someone asks, what's your favorite perfume?
Yeah, that's my boyfriend. He
Sorry,
loves
it's not
perfume.
someone, it's Mr.
Ooh,
Tyto.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, it's Sir Tyto.
Sir Tyto. Nice.
Yeah.
Honestly, Chanel No. 5 perfume is my favorite, but it's hella expensive, and I recently ran out of it. But
I have a
that's
fun fact about that one, if you want to hear it.
yes, I
Uh-oh.
want to hear
It's,
it.
it's an animal fact.
Is the fun fact or an oh my god, I didn't know?
You might not like it when you hear it, but a big part of why it smells so good is because it has something in there that is from the stomach of a whale.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. That's a good fact.
Yeah, if it smells good, right? Then why not?
I mean, yeah, it smells amazing. So, Cindy, if you need any presents, but
And
Yeah,
you,
that's,
Marnix, what do you wear?
I really like that scent. It's my favorite.
I cannot find the one I'm searching, but one of my favorite of all time might be Invictus Victory. I really like the one. It's from Paco Rabanne, I believe. Rabanne, I'm not sure. And there's, I think Dior. I'm not sure.
Nice. LadyTyto, do you have any behind the scenes secrets or rituals?
Uh, do I? I don't know, actually.
Let me check.
I will say what you see behind me is a lot tidier than what is on the other side.
Oh yeah,
But
we
I
all.
think that's a normal thing for streamers. I have legs.
I will turn my camera. There it is. The wall of
I
things
thought it
that
was
Boxes. Oh
yeah,
yeah,
It's like DJ tables and
yeah.
different things.
I have a
I
wig
always
here.
hold the camera of my phone when I go into the kitchen to do some kitchen content. Because I don't want them to see the mess of boxes and everything that's hiding here. Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm not alone in that. That's great. But
We
yeah, when it
all
comes
have this
to
perfect stream angle.
yes, yes, we catered it. Except for this thing that is horribly well, it's a beautiful thing, but the color does not fit my setup, so that's a little downside. It's a VR treadmill for those who don't know.
Oh.
Oh.
I really want to do this, but I am still trying to look for the way how I'm gonna do it. But I want to do VR streams at some point where I walk through, for instance, Hogwarts Legacy or something.
Oh my god, that would be
Oh,
absolutely amazing.
Yeah, so that's something I want to plan for the future. But aside from that, let's go back to rituals. What do I do? I guess my normal rituals like make sure I have something to drink. I have 10 minutes before I start and then get something to drink, use the toilet, that kind of stuff. I don't really have anything in particular. I wear perfume as well, but I do that when I finish my makeup look, I put on perfume. So there's no real specific ritual, just that, I
Gezondheid.
guess. Ja,
thank
gezondheid.
you.
Bless you.
If I keep sneezing like 10 times, I'm not stoned, my friends. I'm it keeps coming.
Oh, that's the
Keeps
Oh,
worst.
coming.
darling. Okay, I need to quickly grab some water. So
I found
while
it.
Marnix is going to tell you all about his perfume, please don't break my stream. I'll be right back.
This is gonna be fun.
I'm
No.
up. Well, let's
JK,
go.
JK, JK, JK. Actually, there's quite a fun story behind this perfume. It's called Dior Cologne, I believe. And the story behind it is last year we were on vacation in Croatia, where we go actually each year. Friends of us live there and also own some bars in the city town there. And one of the local friends wore this perfume. And I was like, this is some very good perfume. I actually like this one. So we asked him, well, what perfume are you wearing? And he told us. And actually, I got this one from my girlfriend, I believe. She gave me
Hmm.
this Christmas, I believe. So that's the story behind my perfume. It's my favorite liner.
I might check it out for my boyfriend. He wears one perfume every time since I've met him. And I think it's time to change it up a little bit.
What is he wearing right now? Is it 1 million or is it?
No, honestly, I have no idea. I think something from Replay, maybe. But yeah, he needs to change. It's not bad. It's just that I'm tired of having the same smell every time. No,
Mm.
it's not X body spray. He does use that as well.
X chocolate, the most memed,
Oh no. Ugh.
most memed deodorant ever.
Oh, they
Yeah.
used to have such great advertisement, though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is true.
That was
Yeah.
super impressive.
But do you
Zach
Uh,
is a
do you
perfume
own
guy.
do you own a lot of perfumes?
I mean, Zach?
No, you guys.
No.
no,
No, I
have,
think
like-
like 2.
I have
Oh.
3, I believe. Of
Okay,
which
then
one
yes.
is already really
Oh,
long
yeah.
empty, but I keep it so I know which bottle I have to buy again, but then I don't do that.
I have a
I thi-
lot in a drawer.
Oh,
Then
yeah,
I do
I
have
th-
more.
I
Oh,
think
yeah.
I've 8 or 9 different perfumes right now.
Pumpkin pie.
This
Oh,
one
wow.
smells like cinnamon. I like to layer.
Oh.
It's something I've learned. I use this one the most. I mean, this is a hair tie, but Billie
Cool.
Eilish. It's very vanilla, and then I layer it with more cinnamon, so pumpkin pie. These are very good fragrances when you want something different, and then it smells like a vanilla cinnamon cookie or something. I like to smell like something you can eat.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
And I have a lot more, but yeah, apparently I do own a lot of perfume. I thought I was always not of having many, but apparently I do. Oh
That's
well.
Yeah,
awesome.
every time that I go to the store, I'm like, oh, I want to try new perfume, and then I see the prices, and I'm like,
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
want
Find
to
some
spend
good
100
dupes.
euros.
This one smells like cherry. It's from the Action.
I used to buy Action perfume, and but they don't last that long.
No, they don't
Oh.
last that
There
long.
used to be this really popular perfume from Action, which I'm gonna look up,
You need to
but it
search
smelled
for this.
really bad.
This brand makes really good dupes, also from really
Vein.
expensive. Yeah, the Vein. It's a really great. Look at me perfuming, influencing over now. Boo! I'm taking over your job. But yeah,
Nice.
that one makes really good dupes, also from designer stuff. Yeah, I can definitely recommend. They're good.
That's nice. I want to buy more perfume now. So let's skip to the next subject before we all have our online baskets filled with new perfumes, even though we don't know how they smell yet. The next one is a little bit interactive with the chat. Chat, if you are here from one of the streamers, please type the name of the streamer and then the story that you want to share. This is the question. Can you share a funny or embarrassing moment from one of your streams? And for the chat is from one of your streamer. So please type the name about who you tell the story and I'll read them in a little bit. But first, the guest, do you have an embarrassing or funny moment that you'd like to share? And if there's many, just choose one, chat, or type multiple messages.
Why am I being confronted at first?
Oh, let's start with Marnix.
Mr. Sheephead says the
No,
wine
we're
bottle.
going to the chat in a little bit. First, I want your story.
Well, it's the same.
Okay, tell me.
So it was my birthday, I think maybe 2 years ago. I'm not yeah, I think it was 2 years ago. And I never drink on my streams. I don't drink much as a person in general. But I decided to open a bottle of wine and have a few wines and do some stream racer and just celebrate my birthday. And I had this new wine bottle in my hands and I was like showing them off very posh, like, hey guys, this is the wine that I have. See, like this butler idea where they show you the wine before they serve it, like that. And I don't know how it happened, but I was holding the bottle and then suddenly it slipped out of my hands and ended on the ground. And you can hear the glass breaking through the microphone. And
Oh.
I wasn't sober enough that I could realize what has happened.
But it wasn't full anymore.
It was a full bottle. It was not opened yet. And my boyfriend wasn't too happy with me because there were two cats sitting on the other side of my studio, and there were a few, but everything was fine. We cleaned it up really shortly after. But I think that is the most embarrassing moment of my stream, and the clip still exists if you
Yeah,
want
please
to
share
find
it. I can edit it here.
Since then I have drank a few times on my stream, but I'm not going to get full out drunk anymore.
No. Oh God.
But it was funny. I can laugh about it now, but like I was just sitting here like this. I wasn't moving. And then my boyfriend came in like, what the fuck did you do? What did I hear?
Oh.
So yeah, lesson learned, but it was not very good moment.
Great
for me.
clip, but not such a great moment. Oh God. LadyTyto, any embarrassing or funny stories?
Yeah, I had to think because I tend to push those away in my brain like crazy because I don't want to be reminded of it. And I have a clip to go with it. It is from December 30th, 2016.
Wow.
I used to live in Canada back then, and around New Year's in the Netherlands, we have a tradition called oliebollen.
Yeah.
which is something that I really missed back in Canada. So for me, the tradition became to make my own oliebollen. And then I was like, you know what? Let's stream that together. And I set up a camera and I was streaming, and the oil was about to get, the good temperature to start. And I was like, oh, maybe I need to. Oh, wait, that's the wrong one. Gosh. Did I not? Huh? Hold on. Is this the right one? That one's also funny, but yeah, there we go. That's the one. And yeah, I tried to reposition, and then the camera fell in the hot oil.
Oh
And
no.
yeah, it still worked after that, but it smelled horrible.
Ah,
So I decided to just get rid of it. It was a Logitech C920. The mic was messed up though because of all the oil, but the camera
But
was
the
just
oil
fine.
wasn't hot yet.
It was hot enough, but it didn't fry it. It didn't
oh my
break it.
god.
So yeah, it was
That's
not conductive enough to mess it up, because there's these PCs that are submerged in certain mineral oils, right? They work,
oh
but yeah, yeah, that
Wow.
was embarrassing.
that yeah. People Oh my, I'm
It's
happy
also
your
my
phone
second.
kept on working. That's
Well,
it's
it was luckily not my phone.
oh, it was just a
It,
camera. Yeah,
yeah, it was
Logitech.
the Logitech one. Yeah.
Yeah, I already see tuna phone. I dropped my phone into my tuna salad that I just finished making.
Oh no.
Yeah, it
Oh.
was like tuna. The cats loved my phone for a full 3 days after that. I kept on cleaning it, but then there was more tuna, and the
I dropped
cam and the
my
fly.
What?
Someone says cam and a fly, so I'm just looking at
Cam and a
Fems.
Yeah,
fly?
I was, well, it's not a fly technically. I was baking a cheesecake,
Oh,
and I
lekker.
got it out of the oven, put it on the counter, and I was repositioning my camera, and it just
So it
slapped.
goes.
Yeah,
Oh,
and the the cheesecake was perfect, and then like the
it
camera
wasn't
was dropped
anymore.
on
Yeah.
it.
Oh, that reminds me. I was making
Yeah.
an apple pie with my mom for one of my birthday streams a few years ago. And we had like the dough in a bowl, and she was like, "Oh, give it to me." So I gave it to her, but then she thought, or not. And like, I just gave it. So, like, the whole bowl and the dough dropped on the floor
Oh.
because we miscommunicated. I
Oops.
love cooking streams on Twitch, they always go
Yeah.
wrong.
And it's
Marnix,
also it's also difficult. Sorry
yeah?
the cooking streams. It also feels like cooking streams are ruining your cooking skills because
Yes.
it says the recipe is 40 minutes, and when you stream it, it takes double the time.
It takes
Yeah.
2
When you,
hours. Yeah.
it's so annoying when you try to just warm up some onion and knoflook. What the fuck is knoflook?
Garlic.
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 You forget it's in the pan.
So you do cooking streams as well?
Yeah, sometimes, but I stopped it because, well, I got annoyed by my food got burned because I
Yeah.
was doing stuff with chat and on stream and forgetting that stuff was in the pan. So yeah.
I still have one of my proud cooking stream moments was when I made banana pie dressed as a banana together with Gloska, another streamer who came here, also dressed as a banana. And then I thought, oh, now we have 2 bananas, so then we have to make 2 banana pies. So we made 2 banana pies dressed as bananas, with the recipes like constantly going through each other, because then the one had to like cool down, then the one had to like warm, then we had to chop bananas and do things, and we did silly dances in between, and we made 2 epic banana pies dressed as bananas, and I'm still happy with that one. The one time I didn't drop a phone in the food as well.
That's so
Oh.
good. That's so good.
Marnix, do you have a
it-
funny or weird story or anything?
Oh yeah, there is a fun story, but that's a collaboration between me and Fems that happened a year ago in Create SMP. That was might be the most funniest thing ever happened to me on Twitch.
Tell
That's
me.
also my most watched clip on Twitch. We were playing in Creator SMP. I think it was the first season of Creator SMP Hardcore. And to win the game, you had to survive the longest in Minecraft Hardcore. So
Yeah.
that means 1 life only. And I know I just came back from vacation. I couldn't play for like 2 weeks. And I saw everybody play, create SMP, and how far they got, and I was like, whoa, I really need to spend some time on this game if I even want to try to get to the finale, you know. And first day back from vacation, I logged on, start streaming, and Fem sent me a message in chat, hey, let's meet up, let's do something. And I was like, yeah, very nice, nice, let's do it. And we ended up both dead because she walked into a TNT trap, and so we both got yeah.
I mean, it was the most original death of the season, so we have that at least. But
Yeah.
I did feel a little bit guilty, but now I just can just laugh.
Yeah, so I think that's the most funny thing ever happened on stream.
That
And the
sounds
most
hilarious.
Yeah, it was. And after that death, we actually we went into Rotterdam, taking a drink together because we had
Yeah,
so
we
much
did.
left there.
We
Yeah,
actually did. Yeah.
Yeah.
we were like, well, we cannot play anymore. Let's take a drink.
Let's just go have a
Yeah.
Nice. I love that.
Yeah, that was really nice.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't really know each other before that, so it was really nice to just first have this experience in Minecraft,
Yeah.
which I did really feel guilty about. But then like hang IRL like 50 minutes later on the terrasje.
On het terrasje, yeah.
I love that. That's so
Yeah.
cool.
And the most embarrassing moment might be happened in a behind the scenes stream at Radio 538. There's a little. I have to make some changes on the audio mixer, the sound mixer in the studio to talk only to Twitch in the behind the scenes. So I have to switch between the on air and the behind the scenes mode. And I need to press 2 or 3 buttons to do that. And I just came out of a talk on air on the radio, and I was prepared to switch to the behind the scenes talk. And I felt there was a massive burp coming up. And I was like, whoa, I want to let us hear to the audience on Twitch. I believe it was in the montage when we started the session earlier. But I forgot to press 1 or 2 buttons, and I believe everyone listening to Radio 538 that night heard my burp coming out through the music on the radio. So yeah, that was very funny. I got no reactions in the 538 chat box. People listening to the radio can also send messages to the studio.
Yeah.
Nobody noticed it. But I listened it back and I was like, oh no, there is a massive burp in one of the hit songs.
That's so funny.
Maybe they thought it was
Yeah.
just a sound effect.
Yeah.
Maybe they
might.
did. Oh. Okay, and with that amazing, embarrassing story, we are going to see what chat wrote. Tyto, there are so many. Yeah, the
Yeah.
Fems, the wijnfles, the wine bottle, we already heard that one. Let's see. Thief walking into a palm tree leaf on stream. Yes, guys, if you're doing IRL streams, I focus always on the floor because there's danger on the floor, but there's also things in the sky at times. So I got like a palm in the face, so like a literal face palm. Who else did we have? Oh no, my chat went back down.
Oh no!
I was
Stop
trying
talking,
to
guys.
read that.
Stop talking.
What does getting slapped with salami mean?
Well, so I do cooking streams with guests every now and then. And I once had the Luminous Nova here for a collab stream, and then we were making pizza, and then she had like a nice piece of salami in her hand, and she slapped me in the face with it, and I was shocked for a full 20 minutes before she wanted to do that again. But then I was like, I just can't believe you slapped me with salami. But it was just a piece of meat, you know? Okay, that's not making it better. Anyway, every time my chat likes to talk about the time I was getting slapped with salami in the face because it sounds so much worse than it actually is, even though it wasn't really great to begin with. So let's change. Beautiful. LadyTyto. The first time I met LadyTyto, I was drunk. And instead of saying hi, I grabbed her and checked out all her tattoos. And we are besties ever since. Oh, that's so cute.
It was at the after party of TwitchCon last year on the Sunday. It was really funny.
That's scary. I feel like people with tattoos, they have like slightly different boundaries. If it's like if tattooed people with tattooed people, and they're like, ooh, tattoos.
There.
There. Let's see, what other embarrassing moments do we have?
I think
The
it's
tuna
quite
foam.
tame.
Sorry?
I think it's quite tame in chat. Come on, we need some more embarrassing stuff. Come on.
I think maybe drop the cupcake on the ground. Yeah. So
Oh.
another collab stream. I had Nezuru here for a collab stream, and she made this beautiful cupcake, and she gave it to me like a beautiful little child that made something, and I was like, oh, and I like put it down, but I put it on the side of the plate, so it like drops on the floor face full in the fondant, and she yelled, "My cupcake!" Like it was her
Aw.
child. It was very sad, not embarrassing. That was just emotional. Let's see, chat. Do we have funny stories about our guest, Taito, the Red Dead fishing? What is
Is that
that?
Is that really that embarrassing? No, it was like, okay, so in Red Dead 2, you had to go fishing at some point, and to fish, I'm gonna grab my controller real quick. You had to like reel it in. Basically, you had to swirl the stick. And I was like just doing it like this because my fingers were sore. And I was like, this goes way easier. You're better at, wax on, wax off kind of stuff. So I was doing this, but it took so long that I almost got blisters in my hands from just sitting like this the entire time. So yeah.
Okay, that's
But
pretty funny.
yeah, but it's not embarrassing, I think.
No, funny or embarrassing.
Oh, funny as well. Okay, okay.
And Taito, various noises.
Oh, yeah. I'm what I call a mimic. If I hear a sound, I want to try and mimic it.
Oh,
I have
I do
quite the
that often as
repertoire.
well.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, it's part of echolalia. It's a thing. And sometimes I, have to mimic a door that creaks or something. And oh, that's a good one. Yeah, the one that Zach just said was also pretty funny.
During
During
Taito's birthday stream, we had a fog machine, and we ended up with so much smoke in the room that the fire alarm went off every time the door of our office opened, which was many times. Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
That was last year. There's a clip of that too.
Oh, that's lovely. Oh yeah, and Viva's an amazing cackle. I have the worst laugh if I'm really, really happy, but we made it an alert now on stream, so people can like with 707, not right now, have my cackle being summoned, and then people who are new always are like, "What's that sound?" And I'm like, "It's my laugh." Yeah. Oh yeah, Opa, we already talked about the Fem stream with
Everyone
the bottle of
does,
wine.
Joost. I will never drink wine on stream again.
Unless it's
Shots, maybe.
in a plastic bottle or something.
Yeah.
I would love to go to what advice would you give to someone just starting as a game streamer, or a talk show streamer, or whatever Marnix IRL things you also do alongside gaming. Do you want to start?
Yeah, I think trust your instincts. It sounds very cliche, but I think when your feeling says, well, this is right, this is what you like, this gives motivation to do more, I think that's the perfect starting point. I think when you're just starting whatever you want to do, IRL, talk show, gaming, whatever, I think you need to be your first fan of your own content. So start making content you like, and after that, try to find out what others like.
I like
Because
that.
if you're not your own fan, why would someone else be?
Nice.
That's really good advice.
Yeah.
I really should do that myself, but
It's so easy to give each other
Yeah.
advice, but to
Yeah.
follow up yourself is always the hardest.
It is. It is. I do think the most important advice I could give anyone is to have fun. I notice, especially now that I'm full time, sometimes I think, ooh, like I want to follow higher numbers or I want to follow like whatever. But in the end, it's about me having fun. That's what everybody came for to begin with. So I try, if I'm not having fun, I try to end a little bit earlier and think like, okay, another time tomorrow. And if I have fun, I try to stay a little longer. So, or until I have to finish, but like really focus on fun because then it won't burn me out. Then I can keep making the content I'm making, and um, yeah, I think fun is. I know a lot of starting streamers, they want to become this big streamer. I think the goal should be that you like streaming to begin with. So look for what you like as a streamer, and then later on, growing bigger could be a goal. But I think it should start with fun. LadyTyto, anything to add or Fems?
Uh, don't expect to make money
Yeah.
first. Just have fun. Just focus on having fun. Focus on making
Put your
content.
microphone back to your.
Sorry.
Yes.
Just focus on having fun. Make content you enjoy. I'm just backing up what was already said, but don't do it for the money, because in general, only a few make it their full-time job. And if that's the only reason why you want to do this stuff, it's not for you.
Yeah.
And that's not because you're not going to be good at it, but having the focus on there is going to put so much pressure on you with that kind of
And
stuff.
on your community.
And on your community, indeed, that it's going to be noticeable. And if that's what you want to do, then maybe try a different approach. I don't know. It's just, yeah.
How about you, Fems?
Yeah, I mean, most things are already set, but my addition would be don't spend too much money at the start of your new hobby to improve. Just begin with like a good microphone. I think that's the basis. And then a camera. Don't spend thousands of euros before you even haven't found out if you actually enjoy streaming.
Yeah.
But the one true tip is stay true to yourself, do things that you want to do, and not because you might grow out of it. It can be both. It can be both. It has to be like this middle way, because if you are not having fun, your viewers won't have fun as well. So it's really important to do what you want and to truly enjoy the streaming for the streaming, and indeed not have these huge goals at the beginning, like I want to be a partner streamer, or well, you can have those goals at certain points, but at first stay true to the core, and that is to enjoy streaming and do network, like introduce yourself and new streamers, but don't be like, hey, I'm a new streamer, can you follow my channel and check out my stream. Just truly gain new connections with people.
Yeah.
Try to find streamers that you like, streamers that inspire you, that play the games that you like. And in that way, in an organic way, you can get your name out there, but don't be like the self-promoting streamer.
Yeah.
And feel
That
encouraged to
we do
ask
experience.
for advice. I
Yeah,
I had a
definitely.
lot of help in after like the first 3 years. I tried to like discover the wheel, and after that, I discovered I can reach out to other streamers, and as long as you don't like knock on their door every single week or something, they're pretty much there to every now and then give some advice and help out as well.
Yeah.
Someone in chat asked, do you all watch some of your own streams back to give yourself feedback?
I do from time to time, but not like feedback in the things that I say or do, but more like in the quality of the stream. And to
Yeah.
see, I've had an audio issue for months, so I've been trying to see if I could get that fixed, which I did now. And just to see if they're like, sometimes I watch like 3-4 minutes of my own stream and be really critical, like, would I watch this myself? If the answer is yes, and I'm happy with it, and if it's no, I will probably tweak something about it. But yeah, like I said, I still stream because I just want to enjoy my community and just enjoy games together. So I'm not that critical, but if there's something to improve, I will certainly check it. Yeah.
Marnix, do you watch back your streams?
Yeah, I do. If I rewatch some talk shows, I mainly do it to try to find the best moment if I want to make a social media content out of it. But I also try to air check myself like we do at the radio. Because at the radio it's very usual to listen back complete shows and to be extra critical on yourself, and write stuff down that you can take with you into the next show. So that's also a thing I do on Twitch because I stand for doing the best I'm capable of,
Mm-hmm.
and I think there's always room for improvement. So the most important things I take out of rewatching streamer sessions, for instance, is so I can be a better host or presenter or interviewer. So that's why I rewatch those.
And you, LadyTyto?
There was a long time that I made my cats watch my VODs when I used to leave for a night to sleep at my boyfriend's at Sir Tyto's. I used to put on my stream so they would feel less alone. And I noticed that I do it myself as well. Sometimes I just really enjoy the games that I play, and I put on my own streams to just watch the gameplay. And also, just of course, we check to see if it's running right, if there's little bits to improve. But in general, it's just to. I don't mind the sound of my own voice. I've learned to like it. I'm starting to dabble into voice acting as well right now, so I might as well try to learn to like it. And yeah, I do find my own streams to be pleasant to look back. And just like what Marnix said, be your own fan, right? Enjoy your own content. And I'm always very terrified of coming across as arrogant. So for me, it's like, oh yeah, I enjoy my own content. Doesn't make me arrogant.
No,
But
no, that's
yeah,
exactly what
No, it
earlier
definitely
was
doesn't.
also said. If you don't like it, why would someone else?
yeah.
I
So yeah,
also I
can.
giggle at my own content and I'm proud. That's a
Yeah.
good
Yeah, you
thing.
should.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've come to the point where, yeah, just like you said, Viv, as well, in the past, back in the day, I was bullied as well, and I'm still very insecure about my looks and everything. So trying to be okay with that is also, I guess, exposure therapy of watching my own streams, watching my own cringy moments where I'm like, oh well, fuck it, another day.
Girl, your looks, you're one of the most gorgeous people I know. Like
Thanks.
for real.
Thank you.
And
Yeah, you
you
are.
have a really, really, really nice personality. And I think
Aw.
that's a great combination.
Thank you.
And you have an owl. That's cool.
And you have an owl.
Bonus
Yeah.
points, right?
Oh.
Thanks.
Okay, after that wholesome thing, someone in chat asked, what is the most creepy fan encounter you've had? Fems, have you had a creepy fan encounter?
I am not entirely sure. I really have to think. Can you, maybe someone else? I really have to think
Lady
about this. I
Tyto?
cannot like have.
Well, that's good. Like if you don't have
I mean,
creepy
yeah, it's
fan
good.
encounters, that's positive.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I think
I've
for
been
me, it's...
threatened, but it wasn't.
Oh.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, go ahead. That's good. That well, not good. but
It's
that's
not kind
that's
of. It
good.
is kind of Twitch
Sorry.
related, but not like it was not a fan. It was someone who didn't like me.
Mhm.
But like
Um,
that's I think that also falls under fan encounters because they're fewer encounters in that
Yeah,
If
but
case.
they
it's
want
such a weird
content, they're a fan.
story. It was at the time where the Habbo old school servers were released.
Oh yeah.
And it was like this 4-day hyper focus that I had, and we were hanging out with friends, and I made this like cafe type room, and it started to get really popular. But like the people, like the toxic people now, used to play Habbo back then as well. So there were a few not too kind people in the game as well, and they started to harass us, to curse and offend us. And at some point, well, they knew I was a streamer because it was like my streamer room. They said that they would find me at TwitchCon and then beat me up and then tell me the truth or whatever. They would talk to me at TwitchCon. Um, it was last year, and I was never threatened before. Hasn't happened before, luckily. So I was actually debating not to go to TwitchCon, but at the same time, I was like, this is so stupid. I just sent a message to Twitch. They were really understanding and helpful, and I went. I never heard anything of it ever again. I'd stopped playing Habbo because that's
That's a
was a weird
toxicity level that
experience.
just doesn't work. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
You almost canceled because of that. That's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I it's a feeling of unsafety, I guess. But at the same time, like most of like 99.5% of the cases that you get threatened, nothing happens. And I kind of
Yeah,
just trusted in that, and that's exactly what happened.
I'm
Luckily.
happy nothing happened.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. Lady
Yeah.
No
Tyto,
problem.
do you have an experience?
Yeah. Yeah, I was talking to Zach about this because I was struggling with like what kind of story can I tell? Like I don't want to go too deep in my mental health because I talk about that enough on my own stream, and so I came to another conclusion of like, maybe this is a good story, but then this fits this part, I guess. Back when I worked for the contender of Twitch, it used to be Hitbox.tv. I don't know if some of you might have heard of it. They had low latency before Twitch had it. But back when I worked for them, I was a news lady and community talent, as they used to call it. I got sent off to all these events. So yeah, I became a big deal, which felt really, really interesting back then. And I guess one person that I mean, I have a suspicion of who it was because they tried to be very anonymous. Um, but he kind of made it slip on Facebook once. And he called me all sorts of bad things over on Twitter. And he used to send me photos of dead barn owls and ask how my barn owl was doing. So
Ooh.
yeah, that was not great.
Ooh.
Yeah. So yeah,
That's
but
scary.
I
That's
guess
really
that's
fucked up.
I'm sorry
yeah.
that happened.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was it made me very much more private when it came to like sharing my name, sharing where I live, sharing what
Yeah.
region I live, because it's not my own safety, because I can punch a guy. I can honestly
But
if I
your
have
owl
to.
cans.
But my owl is, yeah, I need to protect him, and yeah.
How did it
Yeah.
stop?
It just stopped. I don't know. I guess he got bored because I didn't really respond to it, or that I didn't really let him know that, it bothered me. I was like, just avoid it, just not respond or say, or I said once, like, dude, that's not cool.
Yeah.
Just target me, don't target my pets. That's lowballing.
That's low.
That's
Very
low.
low.
Mm.
So yeah, I guess that's the scariest thing, and yeah, that just made me very private about what I do share about where I
But I
am
think
and
it's good to be a little bit private.
stuff.
Someone at TwitchCon also mentioned that they once had someone show up in front of their door. They've never heard of their name ever, but it was someone who always lurked in all of the streams. And I am so grateful for all the lurkers that just have my stream on in the background, happy little lurker vibes, you know? But apparently, sometimes for some streamers, there are also people that do watch your streams obsessively, but you don't even know that they exist, and all of a sudden they can show up in front of your door. So
Yeah.
I do always like, I live in Amsterdam. People know that because Amsterdam is big, but I don't pinpoint where,
Mm.
because I'd like to keep that to myself. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Marnix, yeah, or in your kitchen. We had 2 episodes back, we had someone who had viewers show up in their kitchen.
What?
What the fuck?
Yeah,
That's
they
Oh,
insane. What?
That's insane. They
creepy.
drove from Poland to Scotland to visit a
What?
streamer that never consented on being visited, and they found their address themselves. That was really, really, really
That was
creepy.
really fucked up.
Yeah.
Guys, if you're listening in chat or if you're gonna watch the podcast back, please don't do that. That is not cool.
It's not
We're
cool.
also just
No, I
people. We don't
totally
like that.
agree.
That's
It's
creepy.
It
yeah.
crosses every boundary there is.
Marnix, any creepy story for you before we go to the next happier topic?
No, not really. No, I think the weirdest thing happened was there was a random guy that joined my Discord server after a behind the scenes stream that ends midnight around 3 o'clock, and we were after talking in Discord about whatever happened that night. And his story wasn't really. It was a really weird story. He was talking like, yeah, I saw a bicycle in the middle of the night, blah blah, living with my parents, and someone found out in my community that he was catfishing with like 7 other accounts in other streamer Discord servers. So that might be the weirdest thing.
How do you figure that out? That
Yeah,
he's doing that.
I shared a TikTok link in my Discord because I found a funny video, I think, and he opened it with one of his catfish accounts,
Oh.
and that's how he found out he was a catfish. So
Damn.
that made me feel like a bit. I was like, what are you trying to get from me? Because he was trying to
Yeah.
get a lot of information, where I live, what I do, about my girlfriend, that kind of stuff. And I was like, well, what are you trying to do?
Yeah,
Are you
that's
trying to
scary.
target my community? I don't have a community, but you know what I mean. Or do you try to social engineer me? What's your point? I think that's the most weirdest thing I've encountered.
That's pretty weird when people all of a sudden have a lot of questions out of nowhere, especially because you don't know what they want to do.
That happens a lot on Twitch, actually. There are so many random questions in Twitch chat. When you think, why would you like to know how old my parents are, for instance?
That's a
such
really weird question.
That's such a that kind of questions.
Ah.
I feel like that's a thing that's very overlooked in Twitch right now. There are so many questions where you give answer to that could lead off to social engineering and social hacking and that kind of stuff. If someone asks one question each month, for instance, that builds up to 12 questions a year, that could end up for some fraud stuff.
Good to be aware of when you get really weird questions. Never say like, what was your first school or your first pet's name or those kind of things that you have as like your
Yeah, the safety
secret
questions.
questions for like, you know? Yeah.
Yeah. Where did your parents meet, actually?
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah,
What
what's
is the
your
maiden
mother's
name of your
middle
grandma?
name?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. Hey guys, it's getting late. The cats of LadyTyto need food in a little bit. I have 2 more questions that I would love to discuss. The first one is, what are your streaming goals or your goals for your streaming career in the next, well, week, month, or year? Like, what are you working towards, and is that something specific? Marnix.
Well, actually, I try to make impact with everything I do. So I've been talking with organizations and parties to make more awareness about first support. Let me think. Eerste hulp. What's eerste hulp?
Emergency.
Oh yeah,
services
more like
or-
First
emergency
responders.
first responders to emergency stuff with heart related, because, well, as an ex heart patient, I think there's way too less attention to it. There are
first
way
aid.
too, yeah, first aid. There are way too little, too unknown stuff about it when something happens. I think how more people know about it, who know how to handle a situation, the better. So I try to make impact with that, and a goal of that will be to set up Twitch streams with other streamers that take let me check what the English word is. I'm the Google man this evening.
It's fine. Like, this sounds really important.
Yeah, I think I would like to set up streams with other Dutch streamers, or Benelux streamers to have first aid and emergency response training and talk about situations that they did. So I think that will be a nice goal to make more impact
That's
with
really
my content.
cool.
Yeah, that's a really cool idea. You should do
I'm really
that.
curious how that will work out, and nice to bring more awareness to that. I think that's something really beautiful about streamers. Like, I have that with depression. I talk a lot about depression because I deal with that, and I, share some small tips to make it look better, to help, but also raise money for example, Movember, um, and try to encourage people to go into therapy and seek professional help while they really when they struggle with it. So I think that's beautiful about streamers and you as well with your background. Like, yeah, it's cool that you're bringing that back and giving it. How do you say that? Doorgeven. The pass forward, wasn't that a movie back in our time?
Pay it forward,
Pay it
I
forward.
think.
That one. Yeah. Cool,
So yeah,
Marnix.
still trying to figure out how and when and yeah, again how. Like I don't want to make it too big about me, but more about the emergency cases. But also, it's a me story. So I firstly try to find the balance and the storytelling because I like to make and produce those kind of things. And when I got that round and clear, I try to work with the Hartstichting or Rode Kruis and that kind of stuff to make a real production about it and spread the awareness.
That's really awesome. Cool, Marnix. Any other streaming goals or fully focusing on this one?
Mm, I think growing together is a good point because that's why Kip Soepje, when we talked earlier about him, we wanted to rerun the talk show that used to be in Twitch now in Twitch Holland, is to bring more people together, and I think that's a very nice mission from him, and I also find myself in the mission to keep doing that. So that's also uh, important to me to bring more people together and keep talking to each other and just stay
I love
connected.
that. Well
Yeah.
done. Fems, do you have any stream related goals?
Well, I have a personal goal this year, and that is to buy a house, which is kind of a hard thing to do in the current market, but we'll try. And I feel like I'm like on the edge of going full time because I've been holding out for it quite a long time and saying to myself like I enjoy my job, which I do, but I there is such a difference in my energy at work and when I'm streaming. So my ideal goal would be to buy a house and then maybe go try full time there because currently our rental situation in the city center is a little bit too high to make the decision now.
Yeah, I
Politically
get that.
said, no, it's just too expensive. So I currently I can do it, but I would love to. Even though I might have the conclusion that it's not for me, I would love to try. But giving up my job now while we're at the start of like the process of buying a house is just a plain stupid idea because the
You need it for the
uh,
mortgage. I know.
mortgage supplier doesn't like it when you don't have fixed contracts.
I know.
So
We were looking into it as well, and as a full time
yeah,
streamer, it's yeah. And they also they look at all your numbers from the past few years,
yeah,
and take the average of that. And I mentioned, hey, but before I worked full time and I did streaming. And they say no, we just count those numbers as if they were full time. And I was like, but
yeah,
I also had a
exactly.
job, I had an income, and nothing from that counts. So
No, exactly.
yeah,
So that's why I'm holding it off a little bit. And to be honest, I currently don't have any like long term stream goals. I just want to, well, since I've come back from quite a difficult period, as well with my cat, as with my health, I just want to enjoy the moment a little bit and enjoy streaming and do what I want. And I do have some bigger streams planned since my sub goals were
Yeah.
all achieved.
2K subs,
They were
Fems.
crushed.
Yeah,
Love it.
they were crushed. It was amazing.
Absolutely
So I do have
amazing.
a few things that are coming, but I'm not pushing myself to the limit because I'm protecting myself a little bit, but I'm just enjoying the moment, enjoying the streams, and yeah, we'll see from there.
I love it. LadyTyto, what are your streaming related goals?
I guess do more cosplays.
Yes, let's
It's not
go.
necessarily stream related, but it is definitely involved. And I also want to learn to animate emotes. And I'm gonna probably take on that journey on stream as well. So I guess it is a streaming goal. And aside from that, just keep doing what I'm doing, keep making content that I enjoy. I don't really have a specific goal, but just, keep loving what I do.
I love that. I think that's keep enjoying the stream and loving what you do is a really important goal. For the past 4 episodes, my goal was to do streamers as stories, and that's now actually on the road. So it's time to change my streaming goal. I set a pretty high goal, but I was motivated on TwitchCon. I really, really, really want to try to go for a Partner Plus level 2. So I said it. I'm gonna do that. We've reached Partner Plus or program Plus program level 1 for a while now, and we've been over it. So yeah, I just really, really, really want to try and see if we can reach that 300 points for 3 months to get the better revenue split. Because I also want to buy a house. I live in Amsterdam.
That
I
would be
can't afford this
amazing. How
rental.
far are you? How far are you away from
We're now at
level 2?
140 points this month, but it's like still 1.5 week. We had some people subscribe tier 3 already in advance for 3 or 6 months. So hopefully we can
Wow.
get there and every sub counts. And it's just, if we don't get it, we don't get it this month. If we don't get it the month after, we don't get it. But like if we get it, that would be really cool. So yeah, I have a new goal to work for, and I'm excited about that.
I really hope you get it.
Me too.
Same.
You reach
And
it.
other than that, I love to stream a lot. Like I do a lot of long streams, 10-hour streams, 12-hour streams, 14-hour streams. We currently have a goal for a 24-hour stream that wasn't supposed to be
Nice.
there, but now it's there. And I really like making content, and I am full time now, and I'm absolutely living the dream. I absolutely love doing this, and as long as I can do this, I'm so grateful. And yeah, that's why I put the plus level 2 in my goal list, because if I can get more revenue from the same money people pay, that would be great. So yeah.
Definitely.
Anyway,
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
Dan, the
So
last
please sub, chat.
Yeah.
Sub to this woman. Let her
Find
achieve it.
find some
We
$5.
have to get her to level 2.
or next
Come on.
month, but thank you. Darling friends, what are you gonna do this week on stream, and why should people follow you? Marnix.
Well, yeah, I think my first live this week will be actually next week on Monday when I do a new streamer sessions. The Dutch talk show when we talk about the week in Dutch
Mm-hmm.
and about Twitch Holland and the news. I might take my IRL kit back in the studio for a time. Did not do that for a long time, so might be live on Friday morning, the early morning in the night. So that's my week on Twitch.
Nice. Thank you. And thank you so much for being a guest here.
Thank you
Lady
for the invite.
Taito. What thank you. What are you gonna do this week? Why should people follow you?
Well, they should follow me because I have an owl cam.
And a great personality and a
Well,
beautiful
thanks.
face. And you do epic cosplays and you play fun, cozy games.
Thank you. But this week is kind of an off week because this weekend is Dutch Comic Con and I'll be over there. And of course, I have a couple of things that I need to do before that time, like prepare my cosplays. If the weather allows it, I will be in a cosplay, a different one every day. But again, it's gonna get really hot this weekend, so yeah, some are still a little iffy. Aside from that, when it comes to streaming, I will be live tomorrow in Dutch. I think tomorrow evening, the earliest, because I have a lot of appointments. I have to get my nails done because they've grown out quite a bit.
But they're so
Uh,
pretty. Oh, sorry.
Thanks. I mean, they look very
Oh yeah,
grown
they're
out and
grown out.
healthy,
Okay,
but
yeah.
it's time. It's time.
From a distance, you don't see that. I have to go as well.
But yeah, tomorrow was the only spot they had because my usual nail tech is he just became a dad, so he has daddy duties. But yeah, when it comes to gaming, tomorrow is Repo Chaos with Game Changers Nederland and a lot of other awesome streamers, including LadyTyto. I'm just gonna refer to him like that now from now on. Oh, also Hype Train. Let's go! Come on,
There-
guys, sub.
this
My speech work.
this is my
More.
stream where I don't need any revenue. I just want to talk and have great conversations.
I
But
know,
yeah.
but you deserve it because you've spent a
This.
lot of time preparing and doing this podcast.
No, that's the
so-
fun thing. I only found you guys. You all did the preparing. You got the stories.
No.
Thank you though. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Fems, what are you gonna do this week, and why should people follow you?
I'm gonna sub on Viev if you know that streamer. What am I gonna do this
Tier
week?
3, I hope, this week.
Huh?
Huh?
What say you?
Nothing.
Sorry, what did you say?
Tier 3, I hope, she
Wat
said.
zei je?
What
Oh,
say-
tier 3. Wait, I have to think about that. I have to think about it.
Oh god. No, what are you gonna do
Um,
this week? Like on your stream?
I am actually not sure. I have another podcast on Thursday, and then on Friday and Sunday I'm gonna be live on my own channel. I don't know. I think Sunday there's also Dutch Comic Con, and I haven't made a decision if I'm gonna do an IRL stream there because it's gonna be very hot, and I do not like the summer, and I do not like handling my
heat.
gear in 30 degrees. And if I'm gonna do an IRL stream, I might as well do my Alice in Wonderland cosplay, which is a dress, which is really hot. So
Ah,
it's really hard to make a decision about this.
that is tough. But the dress is so pretty. Do you know if they have AC in the venue?
I don't think so. I think Dutch Comic Con is known for being extremely hot.
Okay, then
And especially if it's like even 20 degrees outside, it's still hotter inside. So with 30 and 34 degrees, I
No.
might just skip and do Just Dance on Sunday. I'm not sure yet.
that's
But
that's.
yeah,
Ooh,
I've
what
been
you can do
enjoying.
is you can have like people follow you with those little air blowers. Like have your
Oh, yeah,
fans
that's a good
be
idea.
literal
Your
fans.
only fans.
Yeah, have them wave like trees.
That would be perfect. That
Oh.
would be amazing. Yeah.
Someone
So,
asked
no,
what
I'm not
podcast are you
sure.
on Thursday?
By Demi.
Oh, fun.
She is
Oh.
another really nice Dutch creator, and she's having a similar podcast. So she's coming to my house, I think. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
So
Nice.
yeah, that's nice.
That's exciting.
And then normally I would just do a stream then in the evening, but like I said, I'm not pushing myself to the limit yet, so I might just take the night off.
Do whatever feels good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. And then for me, I am going to have a collab stream tomorrow doing some PvP in World of Warcraft that both me and Elfie, with who I'm collabing, are pretty bad at. So that's mostly just chatting while we try to do PvP, I guess. And then other than that, I have streams planned on Thursday, Friday, Sunday, and all the days after probably again. Just have fun, play StarCraft, Warcraft, World of Warcraft. Yeah, no cooking. We're not gonna drop any phones in the food anytime soon. So yeah, that was it. We still have a hype train going. So any of the streamers, do you have a question to each other, to chat, to anyone, to me?
Fems, how do you deal with so many subs lately? How do you deal with that?
I don't. I don't. it's not normal for me because normally I have between 250 and 300 subs. And I always accepted the fact like it's not like a deal. How do you say it? It's not that important to me. But like at some point we reached 500 and I was like, okay, yeah, it's gonna stop here because this is insane. And then we reached 1,000 and like I was keeping my cool. Like I wasn't freaking out yet. And then at some point I realized it wasn't going to stop and I just started crying. I don't know. It means so much to me that people are willing to spend this much money to support me. And I had trouble accepting it. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
insane, right?
I just kept asking like, why? Why are you doing this? But now I'm just grateful. Yeah, it's an amazing feeling to feel so supported.
It's
You deserve it.
insane. It's
Same with you, Viv.
yeah, I had the same this month. We shattered all my sub goals as well. And I still don't believe that we smacked that goal. Yeah, it's I already told earlier. I quit the stream after that. We had a level
Yeah, I
26 hype
understand.
train. We got like I don't know how many subs in a day, and then I went offline to deal with being in shock. And yeah, some days I earn $10. Other days we have a level 26 hype train. It's streaming is weird. Yeah. Yeah, we had
It
1,300
is.
subs in a day. It was insane. It was insane.
If you guys are
It's
still looking for an emote artist and you still have emote slots, let me know.
if you're gonna animate emotes, yes. I already have a darling emote artist that I don't want to leave that does the normal emotes, and we commissioned 3. But if you're gonna do animated emotes, let's talk.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Yeah. Guys, we are going to leave. Thank you so much for being on my podcast. Marnix, the first man as a guest. It was time due. Thank you so much for being there. Guys, follow Marnix. He's absolutely amazing. LadyTyto, absolutely stunning, amazing cosplayer. Thank you so much for being here. Fems, my darling, I am so grateful to finally collab with you again. I still remember the last time you were here in this room with me. You told
I
this
do too.
very long story about that you learned the word for piemel in Swedish, and I love everything about
I
this.
totally forgot about that story, but
Yeah, she
thank you for
thought she
reminding
learned
me.
how to say I love you, but she just said piemel or
Yeah.
something like that. It was a great story that I all of a sudden remembered and had to like say quickly before we go.
Yeah, but it was really nice to visit your stream because you stream in English, so it's quite a different world
That was my Dutch
than the
stream.
Dutch stream.
We
Was it?
streamed
No,
in
it wasn't.
Dutch. Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
How can I forget that? I thought we streamed in English.
No,
I do remember that your boyfriend made really nice spaghetti and then we drank wine on your balcony.
that was super nice. I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you for being on my stream again in
No problem.
English this time, and you're
In
always
English,
welcome
yes.
to collab one day in English as well.
Yes,
and-
next time we do the steenkolen in English versie.
Oh,
Oh,
we
no,
didn't
no.
do it. We were
Let's do
supposed
that,
to do
huh?
that
No,
just
no,
for a
no.
little bit. Oh,
No, I'm okay.
above all, I want to thank chat. Thank you so much for being here. You guys are absolutely amazing. And like we already said earlier, without a community on Twitch, our lives would be so much less fun. Thank you so much for being here. You are awesome. We're going to rate someone who was on this podcast a while ago. And one more time, follow these lovely people. Follow me if you don't know me yet. Hi, I'm Viv. And thank you. Now we're gonna do awkward waving, all 4 of us, please.
Bye.
And make it feel like nice and awkward. We're waving. I don't have an ending screen.
Do we have to wait for 2 minutes?
No. I'm gonna click the button, but it doesn't feel awkward enough yet. Bye.
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 Bye bye.
Just
Go sub
smile
to
and wave.
Viev. Yeah, there we go.